All right, showtime. Welcome back. We are live. We have a very, very nice panel tonight. We're having some drinks. We're having a good time. And I'm very, very excited. I keep on getting more excited. I don't know how I can contain the excitement. Can you hear it in my voice? Okay, so let's go over some housekeeping per usual. Let's talk super chats for a second. We got some super chats last week. I apologize for some people who were saying in the chat that they were not able to do a super chat. I did a little research. That is not on my end. That is on your end. So I don't know if you need to go on another browser or what, but if you want to give a super chat and for some reason it's not working, then I don't know, restart your computer, go to another browser, figure it out. But the cool thing is if you do figure it out, the super chats are going to guarantee that I will be reading whatever you put on there. So we're reading all super chats tonight, and we will answer all questions that come from super chats. I will do my best to answer questions here that you guys give that are not super chats, but it's just not a guarantee. That's kind of what the super chat is. It is your guarantee to get something answered or say a statement on this show. Okay. And again, I'll do my best to chat with as many people as I can. I know there's a lot of people who come in, and like I said, we'll do our best. Does that sound good? Cool. More announcements. Do not forget that if you need help with your dating life and you are struggling, what does that look like? Well, that might look like you don't know how to get a date. You get a date and it doesn't turn into a second date. Or maybe you're trying to even get matches online. It's not working. Maybe you see girls at the bar that are really cute and you don't know what to say and you don't know how to talk to them. If any of these are issues for you, we have a full-fledged coaching program over here at TripAdvice, which now the panelists are just probably learning about. So yes, it is interesting as it sounds, because what we do is we work with you one-on-one. We have coaches on staff where we will work with you one-on-one. I bring that up because there's a lot of coaching programs out there that are group coaching. And maybe one day we will do a group coaching program. We have a little bit in the past, but we have found that one-on-one coaching is the very best because you get so much attention. So that means that you have someone who is guiding you for a set amount of time. We have 8-week programs going on right now where you're doing calls every single week. You're getting homework every single week. You're working with someone who is invested in you. That's the whole point. They're paying all this attention to you because they want your results. They want results just as badly as you do. So if you want results, you want more dates, you want to be sleeping with more women that you find attractive, you want to get a girlfriend, you want to get married, we help with all the above. Just 2 weeks ago, I had 2 clients who reached out to me separately who I worked with in the past, both engaged. That's pretty cool. Is that pretty cool, panelists? Yeah, pretty awesome. So yeah, we're getting people engaged. I've been texting a lot of old clients and people who are interested in coaching, and I'm talking about offering boot camps right now, which I'll talk about in a second. So I've been offering boot camps, texting old clients and such, and they're telling me I have a girlfriend, I got married, all this stuff. So it's pretty amazing, and we do work miracles over here. So even if you think that you are just helpless, like there's no way you're going to be able to attract women, there's no way you're going to be able to get a girlfriend, or at least one that you are not settling for, you are thinking wrong. Go to tripadvicecoaching.com. We have my staff available most hours of the day to do a free call with you to discuss coaching, to explain how it works, what it's all about. And that is a free call. That call is just to see if coaching is something that would help you. So you get to decide there as well as my team gets to decide and hear your story to see if we can help you. TripAdviceCoaching.com. Go there, pick a time slot. We can chat with you about coaching. And yeah, I'm just excited to get you the help that you need. So think about it. And if you're ready, TripAdviceCoaching.com. Okay. Are we ready to get into it? What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Scotty? What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. Okay. We're about to do introductions now. Okay. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start to my left, and you're going to say your name, your age, what you do for work, your relationship status. And if you don't remember any of this, I will remind you, don't worry, you don't have to memorize this. And then last, I'm going to start picking a new question every week. And this week, my bonus question is, what's the best thing that has happened to you all year? Again, I can repeat this, but let's start on my left.
I'm definitely going to forget all that.
Name, age, what do you do, relationship status?
My name is India. I'm 27. I'm single, and I'm a consultant at a Big Four accounting firm. And what was the last thing?
What's the best? You said age?
Yeah, 27.
Yes, 27. What's the best thing that has happened to you all year?
Oh, best thing that's happened to me all year. A lot of good things have happened to me. I'm a very blessed individual.
Okay, name one.
I would say I became a yoga instructor on the side. That was the best thing.
Very nice. What's your favorite yoga position?
The mermaid.
The mermaid?
Yeah, Google it.
Damn.
Google it.
I've done hot yoga now about 3 times in the past month, and the mermaid never came up.
It's a little bit more advanced.
Okay.
It's not going to come up in like your traditional like hot yoga.
Yeah, it's not a Bikram move.
It's not. It's not
a Bikram move.
It's not in the set sequence. So Google it though.
Cool. I like it. All right, let's go over to the opposite corner.
I'm Ginger. I'm 27 years old. I'm a media analyst at a market research firm. I've been talking to someone. I know that's different from what I sent you. It's new.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay, I reached out to you like a week ago.
I know, so it's very recent. Ooh. Yes.
So that happened pretty fast.
Yes.
So what's your definition of talking to someone? What does that mean?
We've been going on a couple of dates, seeing each other a lot.
Couple of dates in the past week.
Yes. I know, yeah. So it's been moving really fast, but I'm not on the dates. I'm not on the dating apps anymore. Neither is he. So
whoa.
I know. Yeah. So.
Okay, that moved pretty fast.
Yes.
Okay, so have you had any instance, even for like 5 seconds, where you thought this could maybe be my husband?
I think that's very soon.
Okay, I'm just saying. You never know.
We'll see.
You just got off the apps.
Yeah.
It's like
but I was excited to get
exclusive.
off the apps. Yes.
You were excited to get off the apps for him or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay.
Yeah, and for him, of course.
Okay. But, well, then I think maybe we know the best thing that's happened to you all year. I don't know. Maybe it's something else.
I would say the best thing that's happened to me so far is that I was accepted to walk in a fashion show in August. So I'm so excited.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you. Oh my God, it was literally on my vision board. I was so happy when it happened.
Yes. Do those vision boards work?
Yes.
I believe in them.
Yeah.
Okay, you ladies have done vision boards.
Yeah.
Was on the vision board being on a awesome podcast.
Yeah, I actually have been dying to tell men how to date better. So
okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely part of the vision.
I like it. Are we good on the mic? Should she come closer to the mic? Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Tom. This is like the chair that we're it's a little bit more uncomfortable for the person there. But it's okay. Okay, great. So Jimmy, name, which I already said. Age, what do you do? Relationship status, best thing that's happened to you all year.
Wait, did we skip?
I wanted to go to you.
Oh, you want to hear me?
Yep.
First of all, what's going on, my friends? To all my viewers, followers. So yeah, Jimmy the coach. So Dirty 30. I think for me, like the best thing that's happened this year is my learning experience. Just like a lot of growth, internal growth, like mental growth, besides the physical, because I am a personal trainer and a bodybuilder, but personal like mental growth is very what I'm grateful for this year. So many opportunities that come up like constantly. But I think overall, I just pile them up to like a learning experience. If you want something very specific, like just hosting like my own set of bodybuilding shows now. So I'm like training athletes and stuff. So yeah, being an athlete and training other athletes and putting together shows to display the athleticism of people. So
cool, man.
I'm blessed for that. Thank you guys. And I am single.
Okay. Single and Dirty 30, you said.
Yeah, ready to mingle, I guess.
How much you squat?
So in the past, my max was 405,
Damn.
but I was 205 pounds, a little bit overweight. My goal was to get there aesthetically now. So yesterday I hit my new PR was 380 at under 200 pounds. 380. So
Amazing.
405 is coming soon, under 200.
Someone said, how many girl push-ups can you do?
Probably infinite, to be honest.
Yeah, I would imagine that's probably infinite.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. All right. Last but not least, back to the middle.
Hi, I'm Gwen. I am 25 years old. I work in marketing. I also model and do yoga on the side. And I think that the best thing to happen to me this year was my yoga teacher training, where I met my beautiful friend India.
No, we got something
So
different.
many others.
Oh, no, it can't be the same one.
Okay, something else good that happened to me this year. I had kind of like a crazy start to the year. So I was in a 3.5 year long relationship, and we broke up like on New Year's, and I moved out. I moved to my own apartment. So I think that's probably the best thing to happen to me, was like having an end to something that wasn't serving me and moving into a new chapter of my life.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And so now you're single.
So now I'm single.
Are you in any situationships, or as Ginger would say, Ginger, what do you say? Talking to someone.
Yes.
I've got a little roster going on right now.
Oh, you have a roster.
Yeah.
How long is the roster?
It's not crazy. I've got like 3 people on the roster at the moment.
I would consider 3 a roster.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you slept with all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're on their roster too. Do you think you might be one of the people on their roster?
Certainly.
A little closer to the mic.
Certainly. Yes.
Do you want to scoot in? Maybe it's be more comfortable. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think everybody on the roster is on the same page.
Which is what?
It's fun until it's not fun.
Okay. What
Yeah.
would for you make it not fun?
Have you heard of the ick?
Oh yeah, we talked
You're
about
familiar with the ick?
Yeah, well, we talked about the ick last week. I want you to define the ick.
You want me? Okay. So it could be really anything. Like, you could say something that I interpret as like kind of off color, or like you could show me a tattoo that I think is not something that I would put on my body, or you could like, I got the ick before because I was at a bar and I was like, oh, this bar has touch tunes. Here, date. Like, you can play what you want. And they played Mr. Brightside, and that gave me the ick. Or like, if you don't have a wine opener at your house, I'm gonna get the ick.
How many icks? I can get clever with this one. How many icks does it take to get to the center of
Dumping.
this guy is no good anymore for you? Is it just one ick?
I'm gonna give it the baseball rule. I'm gonna say 3 icks and you're out.
Okay. So
Yeah.
all icks are created equal for you in a sense. So after 3, done.
Yeah. I think that's my ick capacity, is like 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting because icks sound like a red flag, but not too heavy enough to be a red flag. It's like a yellow flag. I love it. Like all this new terminology comes out every year, and it's just synonymous with something else that we used to call it, right? Like icks aren't new. It's just something that you don't like about a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a tattoo, or he picks Mr. Bright. Well, what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of
Who doesn't like
hip-hop.
Mr. Bright? That's like everyone
No.
likes that song.
Guilty. I do.
But it's like if you have
do.
one song to
If you want to
choose.
impress me, you want to tell me that you're okay.
Okay.
What really icks me beyond anything else, I think, is like somebody who doesn't have a sense of culture. Like, if you don't have interest outside of what is presented to you through like mass media, I think you're the most boring person
but
alive.
what if
Like,
he-
no matter how sexy you are.
What if he sings that song to you though?
Little louder. What'd you say?
What if he sings that song to you though?
Literally,
difference.
Would that be your red flag?
those are all 3 icks.
Yeah. Like now you've elevated from ick to like straight out. Like go.
Yeah, you have to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gwen, you're 25. So I think that you can afford a little bit of
Yeah.
icks, but every year that you get older, your
Facts.
pool is going to get smaller, and so you might have to deal with some of those icks unless you end up finding a guy to settle down with. Is that your goal? Do you want to settle down with a guy eventually? Are you looking to get married, or just kind of like play rosters until you're 50?
Until I die. I can't say what my goal is. I'm just like taking it day by day, not having really any expectations of the future. But I'm not worried about like getting older and my dating pool getting smaller. I think that
Why aren't
it's 2023.
It boggles my mind though.
Right.
Why aren't you worried about that? Are
It's-
any of you ladies
yeah.
concerned with that?
It's different.
With getting
older?
It's different between guys and girls. That's why.
Explain more.
Yeah, like girls, like no matter what girl it is, like you're gonna have like a couple guys in your DMs. But it's for guys, it's different. It's like if you don't hit a certain criteria, you're lucky if you get one girl in your DMs. And I'm not speaking like personal experience, but it's just facts.
How many
Like,
girls have DM'd you that were not bots or fake ever?
Well, see, okay. So the thing for me is like I had to elevate my status. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in fitness, like you can see my stuff. Like I've been like I'm an athlete. Like I can compete, and it's just like
So you probably got some DMs.
Yeah, and I do. But like, how many guys are in my on my status, like on my level? Like
Right. But either way, I'm curious. So answer the question because I want to have a point here. Like, how many have DM'd you?
So trust me, it's not the same amount as a woman.
No, I know that.
would get.
So what do you think?
Like, what do you mean,
Ballpark?
like in the past week or
past ever,
past
all
ever?
time?
A lot.
ATH, all time high.
A lot, probably like over 100. Like
That's high.
To be honest, like yeah,
but it's still a fraction.
But exactly, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's a fraction from what women have.
Yeah. Real quick, just starting in India, how many guys have DM'd you in the past month?
Oh, a month?
Approximately, yeah.
I mean, probably at least 75.
Damn,
Jesus Christ.
At
Okay.
least 75.
I
Ginger.
don't believe it.
I don't know. I constantly delete all of the ones in my Instagram.
You probably get
hidden
a
one.
lot.
I just let Instagram filter it and then I delete it, but probably around the same. Yeah.
I think Ginger, I think you get more.
I'm humble, maybe.
I'm being humble. Okay, Gwen.
It's really hard to say.
If you had to say,
If I had to say,
past week, month,
past month. Oh God.
you probably get a lot too because you have a lot of modeling pictures, just like Ginger does.
So the thing is, they all like go to a separate folder
Mhm.
if I'm not following you back. So I'm not really like keeping tabs on that. But I'd say probably similar to India, like 75.
In the past week.
Not in the past week. Maybe like 20 in the past week.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
wait, that was in the
Yeah.
past week.
No, 75 I
Never mind.
answered for the past month. I would
Yeah,
agree,
for sure.
probably 20, maybe
Mhm.
30 in the past week.
Wait,
Dudes are thirsty.
when you say like DMs, like okay, so
Direct
like,
message on Instagram.
right. But I'm saying like women approach you differently. Like if you're a guy, like they'll slide in your DMs differently though. And I know this as a guy. Like it's not the same way like we slide into their DMs. Like women are more creative. Like guys are straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? Like what's good or something like that. Like girls
Not
are
all guys
girls,
are straight
like-
to the point.
well, I feel like they are though. Like they are more straight to the point, but women are like more creative about it, like how they do it. Like they try to find a way, like compliment a picture or like, oh, like for example, me, like do training. Oh, like like you're a trainer, this and that. Like obviously, I'm a trainer. Like you see it in my profile, but then they use that as a leeway, like to get into to your thoughts and start talking to you and stuff like that.
Men do the
So-
same thing.
Yeah.
Or they'll like take a picture that I posted on my public
Uh-huh.
feed and then they'll DM it to me
Yeah.
and be like, oh, whatever they want to say. But it's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, men do the same thing, or they'll be like, oh, I see you do this or that. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, I do this or that, like innocently. And then they'll like switch it to like, oh, so you single, like whatever. So
that's my fault. I thought the guys were like more like straight.
they're
like,
not.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
They're not.
I'm sure
Men
there's
be
some
nervous
creative.
too.
I'm sure there's some creative ones out there, but I
Creative,
think like,
nervous,
think, like,
horny, all the things.
All right, let's
Damn
play a
it.
fun game. Why don't you tell cousin Jake over there which phone is yours? Let's have him bring over your
Cousin
phone.
Jake.
And let's look in your DMs and let's actually read what the guys are saying. Would you be willing to do that?
Oh my God.
I could show a couple.
Why not? This isn't embarrassing for you. This is just,
I
I
could
just
show
want
a couple.
let's just read. I want to see what some of these guys are saying.
Okay.
Are you down?
Yeah.
Okay, she's down. Gwen, chill. What is this?
So it's a
Trying to be
pink
protective
bubble
friend over
gum
here.
bag. And the
We love
phone
a
that's in
mama
that
bear.
bag is my phone.
See, this is why I shouldn't have friends. Come
Yeah.
on, too much protecting.
That's
Yeah,
it.
just let it be. Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, let's see what you got.
Let's see what I got.
We're just
So
gearing up
this
for the topic. We haven't
person-
even reached the topic yet, but this
Damn.
is
This
this is fun.
this is the warm up, as we call
All right,
it.
show me. I'll narrate.
Okay. So it's like,
Do I have permission?
Yeah, this
Okay.
guy tries to like do it by like responding to my stories and stuff.
Okay.
Like that's where he
Wow.
goes.
Whoa. This is a very long conversation.
Well, because he's always responding to stuff.
Why do you respond back? What's your reasoning?
Boredom.
Boredom. Guys,
See what I can-
do you hear this?
Yeah.
This is very important. So
Down.
do you know that he thinks that you might be interested? Are you aware of that?
Okay, to give
Yeah.
context to this one. So I had met him in person, like out. He's a mutual friend of like somebody that I know. And we were, like,
okay.
all
So you
out.
met him before.
Yeah.
No. This is not
You
what I'm
want
looking
somebody
for.
I've never met.
No, we want
Okay,
a random
cool.
DM from some dude
Okay, that I
who's trying to get something from you.
okay, yeah, I've never met this dude.
And still you are responding
Yeah,
to him.
no, that's true.
Is his
I
name?
love it. Okay, she posts. Can we get a zoom in on this?
Damn, is his name Jimmy the Coach?
Can we zoom in? Do we zoom in?
Just kidding.
Hold on. I'm trying to. Yeah, I guess you can. Where's the
Wait,
camera?
what?
It's that
Did
one
this-
right there. All right, so this is what she posts on her story, and his response is, "OMG."
I don't respond to that. Let's
You did not respond to that. You're saying thank you. You're sending hearts.
I feel like my like very lack of
You're not my
response is
girl.
like smart.
She's letting me.
For real.
I mean, listen, we're just showing what's happening, but more
Damn.
importantly, I'm just more curious about
Right.
your responses. Like, why? I'm just curious. Why even respond?
Right.
I think like I guess I underestimate because like if I got these responses as a woman, like if I would never, let me just clarify, I would never be doing all this and like consistently talking to somebody who like wasn't giving me much back. But if I was to like send a hard eye to a guy and he was like heart back and that was it, I would be like, he's not interested in me. And she was polite enough to send me I'm polite, like
Damn.
he was polite enough to send me a heart back.
Right.
But like because if I was interested in the guy, like I didn't show you any DM of a guy that I'm interested in.
Mm.
I showed you a DM of someone that I'm not interested in. If
Right.
I was interested, I would be like, oh, hey, like, what's up?
You would
Like,
keep
I
the
would
conversation going pretty
keep
much.
the
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't give him anything to
Mhm.
keep the conversation
Right.
going.
It doesn't
Right.
matter. It does. Even if
Uh-huh. Yep.
even if it says seen, that's like almost enough.
Really?
Right.
Yes.
Nah.
I need to unread.
Well, I feel like
saying that men
I feel
love
like
to be
yo,
Hold on, what's
breadcrumbed?
up? Wait, Gwen's gonna say something.
Are you saying that men love to be breadcrumbed?
what does that mean? Dude?
Men love to be breadcrumbed.
What's that mean?
That means that they like to be teased and kind of strung along.
I feel like women are just nice, right? Like you sometimes just being polite, like just being polite, just like, hey, you know, I do it. I'm guilty as well. Like for example, like I'll just say it on camera, like I'm not gay, I'm not attracted to men, but I have a lot of men that do DM me, and I just try to like wing it to be as polite as possible because like I'm trying to grow my platform, like I'm trying to grow my following.
You're different because you have your Instagram is your business,
right? So I have, but I feel like maybe women are like it's kind of the same concept. It's like they're just being polite and how to keep people like in tune with what you're doing. Because
right?
Ultimately, like we are trying to like promote ourselves in a way, even if you're like you don't have a business.
Yeah,
like,
but,
you know, like
but India
be nice.
is the only female here that, unless I'm wrong,
know,
that isn't using Instagram to build something. Unless you are you?
Not
because they're models.
Yeah. So no, I'm not a model. So no, I'm not like using it to like build like a modeling platform. But I would say like I'm doing it just to be nice because it's like there's no reason to like be mean to someone that's giving me a compliment or is like showing me any type of like love or like not being mean to me. So I'm like, okay, like I think the energy that you put out into this world is the energy that you receive back. So from my perspective, I'm like, I'm not going to engage and like ask you how your day is. As you saw in the DM, I don't engage to keep the conversation going forward.
Have you ever with a guy that you were interested in?
Yes. I'll keep the conversation going if I'm interested in the guy.
Okay. Does it, actually, this is before we get into the topic, this will be the last question, then we'll go to the topic, but I'm curious for all the ladies here, actually for Jimmy too. When you get all these DMs, like how much does it feed your ego? Like how much is it just like this? Yeah, I'm fucking hot. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think
like deep down inside, like what do you think?
It feeds the ego for sure. There's no denying it. Like I think, and every time, like I already think I'm hot. I already know I'm hot. I already have like a pretty big self-confidence, but then somebody sends me these things that I didn't even like ask for. Like I didn't interact with you, I didn't whatever, and you send me this thing, I'm gonna be like, and that's why I know now, like you sent me this thing, you're adding to my case. It's like I already have my case, I have my papers set here on the table, and then you're adding a piece of paper for my case.
Yeah, like for me it's different though. Like I have a different perspective on this. First of all, like
you get quite a bit of DMs.
Yeah, from guys. For me, it's like I'll be honest. Like I suffer from body dysmorphia. Like it doesn't matter how shredded I get, how big I get. Like I always see like because I'm a bodybuilder at the end of the day, you know. So
were you once overweight?
Yeah, exactly. I was once overweight, but even now it's just like I could be as when I'm competing on stage, like I still like see my weak points. So if someone messages me, a guy or girl, I'm like, I'll take it, but it doesn't feed my. So I'm like the opposite of it. It doesn't feed my ego. For me, it's just like okay. That's what you're telling me, but like I see myself every day.
I'm not believe it.
I'm not content with what I see, but that helps me strive for better, strive for more. So I'm always improving myself. So I don't take it as like an ego booster.
It's interesting because I would think that a lot of females, I'm not going to say they struggle from body dysmorphia, but I feel because women know that a lot of their value comes in the way that they look. But they also have a similar feeling. I will say this though. I feel like the problem is that too many guys are thirsty. Like to be honest, like I feel like guys, like we're kings too. Like we have to have our self-respect and like not just like always DM girls. It's like I disagree, man. I disagree. I don't think we're any more thirsty. I think that we are out here trying to shoot our shot because women are not going to shoot their shot with us. Well, I guess for you, I guess
but more guys are shooting a shot than like women have more options than guys. You know what I'm saying? Like women are always gonna have their DMs flooded. Like guys is different. It's like, especially like if you're building yourself financially, like mentally, spiritually, like physically, like you should have like step back for a little bit and like it's like let a girl like approach you or like let her like also earn it. So just feel like it's just there's an imbalance there. That's just how I feel. If you can, but like you can if you put your mind into it, you can do it. Like I said, like you even said it. I was somebody that was overweight. Like I was just. I didn't look the part, but like now it's like it's different. Yeah. Once you work for it, you'll get it, Yeah. So
Ginger, does it feed the ego?
I would say To a certain extent. Like most of the comments that I get in my DMs are just like random creepy stuff. I wouldn't say that feeds my ego, but when they're an actual like genuine comment, like, oh, your modeling has been improving so much, or I love this picture. If it's like a normal, genuine comment, then it would. But if it's like the creepy, just inappropriate stuff, it's like I'd rather just filter all of that.
But
Right,
even that, right? Like
Yeah.
even that, even if it's creepy and weird.
Mhm. So, yeah,
there's
just
gotta
a
be
little,
like a
yeah.
smidge of like,
Yeah.
he wants me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say a little bit, but like the real big ego boosts are probably from the genuine comments.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
like you're very humble, and I feel like I respect that. Like I think like we're
Oh,
kind of like in
thank
the
you.
same pool of humility, but like you know, just admit it. Like you have something that people are like obviously they want, you know, and it's cool to admit it. As long as you don't entertain it, obviously you don't.
Mhm.
But you know, just admit it. Like there's something about you, you know.
And I think an ego
Mhm.
boost is different than taking something serious too. Like,
Yeah.
because I can see something and know like it's so unserious, but it's still put it in my page of like, this is why I'm hot, but like not take it serious. Yeah.
You guys, well, actually, that's a whole other topic. Gwen, your answer.
The question is, do I get an ego
Yeah, do you
boost?
get like an ego boost every time you get a random DM from a guy?
I think my initial reaction is like, how the fuck many other girls are you doing this to? I'm like, I think that like you probably need to be therapized if you are like relentlessly sending me heart eyes and like you look beautiful messages and not getting a response. And I'm also like, I picture you in a dark room, like just the light of your phone screen liking bitches' pictures, keeping you up at night. Like it doesn't.
The same
Copy and paste,
pictures that
copy and
you put out
paste.
because you want likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
all the times that you post a picture of you half naked
Am
on your
I
Instagram,
doing
and you see
it
all
for
those
this-
likes coming up.
am I
all
doing
those
it
guys are the
for
guys
this
in the basement.
weirdo who's in my DMs that I've never responded to, or
Yes,
am
you
I
are.
doing it for myself because I think I look good and I think,
If
look
you
at how
think
my
you look-
body's improved and
If you
look
think
at
you
how
look
my
good, why
modeling's
post it
improved.
then? Why post it?
Because I think I look beautiful and other people think I look beautiful. I'm not doing it for the fucking one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
No, I
7,
think you're
100
probably
guys in
doing
my
it for
DMs.
everybody.
Yeah, I'm doing it because I look good. I'm not doing it for the person who I think is like in a dark room liking everybody's pictures. I'm doing it for the people that I'm also attracted to in turn. I'm doing it for the opportunities that come of it. Why am I on this podcast? Because you saw me on Instagram.
Right.
So I think that's more so what I'm doing it for. Do I get an ego
Opportunities.
boost for it?
Yeah.
I used to. I definitely used to. I think since I've come out of my long-term relationship, I stepped back for a while and I got to a place where I was able to say, okay, I have the same level of self-confidence, whether or not I'm getting reassurance from DMs off of strangers on the internet. I wasn't on dating apps for a while because I realized that in the past, I used dating apps as a crutch, as a source of validation. And so I stayed off of them.
Wow. So you admit that? Yeah. A lot of women won't admit that.
Oh, absolutely.
Explain that process for a second. You go on.
You go on, you get a rush, you get a, oh shit, like I'm hot. Because absolutely, like, you know, there are people who will approach you in person, but it's not at the same frequency that you get on a dating app. And so I think with a dating app, you can download it as a woman. This is speaking from a woman's perspective. You can download it for a day, match with a bunch of people, kind of get that like high of like, oh, okay, I am attractive. Even if like I haven't been approached by somebody in person this week, like I am still attractive. And I think in the past, I definitely used that as a crutch, and it's been an unlearning process to like not fall back on that when I'm not maybe feeling the best about myself.
Okay. What do you think would be a healthier way to feel better about yourself? Anyone can chime in on this one. We're doing group therapy here.
I
Love it.
do meditation. I do yoga.
Yeah.
I think that's been a huge help.
Yeah.
I would say,
I've been
dude,
journaling.
like go to the
Mhm.
gym, man. You know,
Oh
like,
yeah, you would
you
say
know what I'm
that.
saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
hey, okay, fine, read a book.
At your specific
How about
gym
read
that
it?
you go
Am
to.
I exactly? Hey, let me be your trainer. You know, I'll make you feel good about yourself. You know, no, but yeah, like, just focus on yourself. I was single for 3 years, and I'm single. 3 years, 3 years running. Like I've had some run-ins and stuff like that, but like I actually recently, I had something that was a potential, you know, but it just didn't solidify itself. So I can, you know, I'll like honestly say 3 years single, and because it's like those 3 years, I learned again fitness, bodybuilding, how to become mentally strong for whatever's coming, so that way when the person comes along, if that is your goal to find someone, when that person comes along, you're mentally stable, financially, you know, all kinds of stable for that person. Like you're ready for that person, you know. So it's no problem focusing on yourself, you know, be the best version of yourself. So I feel like, you know, take your time and do that. Like build yourself up. Don't rely on another person for happiness per se, you know.
Okay. All right. We got a question here. I'm going to throw this one at Ginger. I don't know why. I just feel like asking you. Robert says, what are some indicators that a man is husband material versus something short term?
Ooh, I feel like there's so many indicators. For me, I would say something that's going to lead to the next date is how he treats me on the very first date. So if he's dropping me off at my house, he's making sure I get home okay, if he's polite to everyone else. But I would say the biggest factors that I've been looking in recently are making sure that he's serious about his career, but not just his career. He also has hobbies that he's interested outside of that. Because if he's just 100% like, I want to work, then I know he's never going to have time for me. So I would say he has to be serious about his career and then have passions outside of it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good answer. All right. Let's get to the topic at hand. But I love the tangent that we went on. So what are we talking about today? It went a 31 minute tangent. That's okay.
Let's go.
Good stuff.
Let's go.
All right. So we're talking about, we want to get women's thoughts on what makes them, it's funny, I say this and everyone's sipping their drinks, on what makes them interested in sleeping with a man. Okay. So here's the first question. India, we'll start with you. What's the fastest you knew that you wanted to sleep with a guy? So this would be an experience of a time when it was the fastest that you knew.
I would say like 3 hours, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I knew within like 3 hours. But on the opposite, I don't know if you're asking this question, but like the fastest I knew I didn't want to sleep with someone is instantly.
Okay.
I think that's like I feel like that's the more important question.
Well, I think we all have that same answer. There's billions of people we probably wouldn't sleep with instantly. But okay, so 3 hours. So at hour 3, you're like, yeah, I will sleep with this guy.
But I won't do it that day, me personally.
Okay, so when did it happen with that specific person?
I think it also, you have to take into account like the frequency of how much you're hanging out with them. So it's like, if you're hanging out with them, like you hang out with them the first time, maybe that time. And it's like, okay.
Well, hang on. So just answer the question. Like, so when did you guys sleep together?
Probably like a week later.
And how many times did you see him in that week?
Yeah.
Probably 3 or 4 times. I think like 4 times in that week.
3 or 4 times you knew at hour 3. Can you imagine if he could read your mind and he knew that? He'd be pretty frustrated. Like, she wants to sleep with me, but it's just taking 4 times.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's like good things take time.
3 hours.
And you better be patient.
But you already knew it was a good thing.
I have to double check. I have to clarify. So I believe like
good.
Trust but verify. That's kind of how I live my life with anything, relationships, friendships, anything. Like trust but verify. So I'm like, okay, yeah, hour 3, like my gut is telling me like I really like this guy, whatever. But let's verify.
I don't know.
Jimmy's got something to say.
Yeah, I got something to say about this. Because like this one time, like this one girl, like it did take like it probably did take like about 3 hours, but it was like the moment I like when we met up, we could have just done it there, to be honest. But I'm I don't know if you call it gentleman, but like nice enough to like, all right, let's go on this date, let's go out, have a couple of drinks. But I knew like the moment like I picked you up, like I scooped her up, like she got in my like you can tell right away, like I could have just been like just go inside, because it was in front of my house. So like let's just go inside and just do this and get carried away. But like again, I don't know if it's gentleman of me, probably not, but it's something like that it was just like, all right, let me take you on this date. But after the date, like it turned out that way anyways, you know. So it didn't have to be like these couple hours. It could have been just instantly, you know, like. So it just to shining light on that, you know, like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 3 hours, like, you know, it's like when you know like that's what you want. Let's like
let's go to you. When's the fastest you knew you wanted to sleep with a girl? And you can use microseconds.
Oh, right. That's for a guy. I don't know. I can't speak for a girl, but from a guy, it's like obviously
your perspective.
Obviously, from a guy's perspective, it was like instantly, like, you know. But I will say there's like, for example, like me as a personal training, I'm a professional at my job. Like I'm not gonna see a client and be like, oh yeah, like, you know, like I'm gonna sleep with her right now. Like I have. To be honest, like one
we're not
time,
talking about whether or not you're doing it, just kind of like what your thoughts.
Yeah, but as from guy's perspective is like, yeah, instantly, like, yeah, like I want to like get in bed with this girl. Like,
okay,
seconds.
All right, Ginger.
I would say, I mean, there's been a few times where I've gone on first dates and I've known like within the first hour, like he's definitely someone I would want to hook up with.
Okay, we're
like
getting lower here. We went through microseconds for Jimmy. 3 to 1 hour. Okay, yeah, continue.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to someone else. But yeah, no, I would just say within the first hour, like you obviously see them, there's the initial attraction. And then if you're both vibing, there's a good connection. Like you can just tell when someone's flirty. Like I feel like you can tell when a guy's interested in you and when you're interested in them. So, but yeah, I agree with India. Like I know instantly if I don't want to hook up with someone.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Gwen?
Like 4 months.
Bullshit.
Shit.
No.
Cap. Stop.
No,
Cap.
I don't think you understand the question. What's the fastest you knew that you wanted to sleep with a guy? And I know that's already false because you're sleeping with 3 guys right now.
Well,
so those guys didn't take all 4
that
months.
they're guys.
Oh.
Period.
It's Pride Month, baby.
Whoa.
Period.
Okay. So you're bisexual.
Yeah.
Okay. So all the 3 people you're sleeping with are all females?
Nope, not all of them.
Respect.
Some of them.
Okay. Be more specific.
30% of them. 33% of them.
Wait, so 30% are females.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so there's still 2 guys on the roster.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the fastest I knew?
Yeah. What's the fastest you knew?
I don't know. Maybe like
man or woman?
like
the suspense is killing us.
Okay, so here's like the mental gymnastics going on right now. There's like
talk it out.
There's like you meet somebody online and there's like the online texting that goes on and that equates for a part of time, but there's also the in-person meetup and it's like, what are we weighing? Are we weighing when I meet you in person versus when I meet you online, or is it from the total amount of time?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I didn't realize we had to get so granular. Okay, so
we do.
We do, and yeah, you're right. Okay, so
right.
online, you're seeing pictures, you're chit chatting. In that sense, has there ever been like, I think I want to sleep with this guy?
No. I generally wait for an in-person connection because I've had the experience, as I'm sure everybody here has, where you meet somebody online and the vibe is so good when you're texting and then you meet in person and it doesn't translate and you're just like, oh, you're not like this person that I built up in my head.
See, that's the difference in guys and women. Like women will say like she's about the connection and like the words and stuff, but like guys, and I'm not saying me specifically, but guys is like, it's like I just want it, you know. Like I see you online, I see you in person. Like you'll like I've heard it from like friends. Like you'll come up with ways, even if the person looks slightly different in person, or is like just like not there in the head or off for whatever reason, they'll be like, yeah, I'm still gonna smash.
Yeah,
you know,
this-
like we find ways to manipulate ourselves to be like, yeah, I'm still like, she's giving it up, I'm gonna do it. But see, like she makes a good point. Like women are more like a connection. Like it has to be like a vibe.
So
always.
do y'all have the ick? Do y'all get the ick and act
Probably,
on that ick?
probably,
So,
but
you
not as much as
me
we do.
personally,
Yeah, I don't think.
yeah, me personally, no. But like, for, I mean, I'm sure you can label me, but I'm saying like me, like yeah, like for me, like it has to be a vibe.
I don't
stuff,
think
man.
the guys get the ick like girls do. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
I
trust
have
me.
a lot of
Trust me,
gay
yeah,
friends,
we
and
do.
they're like,
Mhm.
But you
"Oh,
said,
I
you
met
said
this
it,
guy
keyword,
within 30
keyword,
minutes. Like we're in the
right?
bathroom."
But you said
No.
you said keyword gay, you know, like
No, but she's saying still, even to
I'm
your
saying
point.
it's a fucking man's mindset.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if
Regardless
you're
of
straight or
like
gay.
that,
It's,
she agreeing
I
with you.
see you, you're hot, I want to fuck. It's not, oh, did you give me
yeah,
the
but that's what
ick?
I said. I'm different in that aspect. Again, for me, like I'm saying for most guys, for me specifically, like no, like I agree with her what she's saying. Like for me, like it has to be a vibe throughout. Like I just can't, like, you know, me specifically, like, yeah, like if the vibe is not there, like even if you're throwing it at me, like nah, like it ain't, it's not gonna fly.
But you
with me.
saying you're not the typical guy.
Exactly,
Like
exactly,
you something
yeah.
different.
Exactly,
Got
yeah,
it.
like it has to be a vibe.
Okay. So that's online. Now you're in person, Gwen. What's the fastest that you knew you would sleep with the guy?
I would say like 3-4 hours. Yeah. I need some decent conversation to like suss you out and make sure you're like a respectful, caring person before I decide to do that with you. And I think that 3 to 4 hours is like a good amount of time to like have conversation with people that gets to a level where you can see their character.
Okay. What's the number one thing that I think you kind of answered this, but that would make you say yes? Like, where does it switch over? And this is for all you ladies, but we'll start with you, Gwen. Like, where does it click and switch over?
Oh, okay. So
Because there's a click sometime.
This is past the 3 to 4 because I've had it before where like I've met somebody and initially I think, okay, I would sleep with them. And then I continue to get to know them and I say, no, absolutely not. My indicator of like, will I sleep with you or not is definitely the first kiss. Like if I make out with you and I feel like there's not chemistry, if I'm not like, ooh, why would I sleep with you?
Okay, so it's the
Yeah.
kiss for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the kiss.
Ginge?
I would say it definitely goes throughout the night. So if we're vibing, if the conversation is good, they're respectful. But I would also say it's their approach. So how they kiss, if they just like throw themselves at me, that's a no. But it's, I don't know, just if you have that good feeling, no, like if
Right.
the kiss is good, if they're not too pushy, but they're not too like wanting me to make the first move, wanting me to initiate everything. So there has to be some sort of lead, but he has to have like that awareness that I also am interested, you know?
Yeah.
Would you
So
ever
that's it.
initiate, or are you just waiting for him to initiate?
I would always let him initiate, especially the first time.
Okay. Are you a
Yeah.
feminist?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So men and
Mhm.
women are equal, right? And they should be doing things equally.
Yes, but I believe if it's the first time I'm hooking up with someone, I would want the guy to make the move. But if we've been together for
Why?
a while, I don't know. I just like a guy that takes charge. I like someone he knows what he wants. If I want it too, and then he goes after it. But if we've been talking for a while, I'm more than happy to make the first move. But the first time I want him to be the gentleman.
After the
Right.
first time he initiates, after
Mhm.
that, you'll initiate.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That makes sense.
India.
I would say it's like the follow up after the first date and the second date because me, like, I crush kind of easily. So I'll come back from a first date like, oh my God, I like this guy. Haha. And like think like after the 3 hours that I would want to sleep with him. And then something he texts me or like when we have the second date, I just don't feel that same like buzz anymore. And then I'm like, never mind. So I would say it's like if that second date goes really well and like I'm like, oh, I still like you and we're on this second date, then I'm like, oh, this might be for real.
Okay. And So when does it actually click? When's the moment where you're like, if this guy initiates right now, I will go with it? Is it just, it sounds like it's just time for you. Is it just time?
Time shown that you are going to meet my standards. So yes, I do agree that it's time, but it's like, what's happening in that time? Because it's like, I have a certain level of respect and like being cared for that I require as part of my standards. So anybody can do that for one date, right? Like it's really easy to be your best self for one date. So I want to see time-wise, to your point, can you sustain this? So yeah.
Okay. Would you ever sleep with a guy who's broke?
So random.
Serious question.
Not at this stage. Maybe like when I was 19 or 20, because we were all kind of broke at 19 and 20. But right now, personally, no.
Why not?
Because for me,
Because a guy would sleep with you if you were broke.
yes, he
Facts.
would.
Big
Yes,
facts.
he would. The reason is because like I don't like for myself just have sex with people that I don't see something like turning into something more serious. And as far as the guy being broke, I know that like I have a certain lifestyle. I make a certain amount of money. I like to go out to eat to certain places. I like to go on vacations. I can pay for myself that I go on. And if you aren't accustomed to that certain lifestyle, we're not going to be compatible. I can't take you to a certain restaurant and think that you're going to know how to dress or know the etiquette or know even what's on the menu. I've been in a place a few years ago. Like I'm not from Chicago and I moved here a couple years ago. I'm from Philly, and like I would date people that were like under my pay grade. And I'd suggest,
what's your pay grade?
Like 6 figures.
Like exactly 6 figures?
Over that.
Okay, so what's the exact amount?
I'm not telling everybody on the internet that, but it's over.
Why?
Because
Hang on,
motherfuckers are gonna
Gwen.
find where she lives
Gwen.
and shit. They're gonna
Wait,
start.
Gwen, wait your turn.
They're gonna sugar mama.
Right,
They're
right.
gonna
This is
sugar
why I
mama
shouldn't
my
have friends on the
girl.
podcast.
Applications dropping in right
No,
now.
that's up to you, but I'm just asking, why don't you want to say that? Because that's interesting. You're so confident in it,
right.
but all of a sudden there's this fear of saying it. So what's that fear?
That's a really good question, actually.
Because it sounds like you're almost judging yourself for it. So it's weird. That's what I'm questioning. Why are you judging me yet so confident at the same time?
Yeah.
On that specific.
I think it's because people are intimidated. And it's
What do you
like
mean?
people are intimidated by how successful I am and my age.
So you make 6 figures?
Yes, over. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like I make over 6 figures. So it's like people get intimidated at the fact that I make 6+ figures.
Who gets intimidated?
Men. Let's like.
I don't think they get intimidated. I think they just don't want you. If that guy's intimidated, he just doesn't want you. He's not intimidated. Men don't get. I mean, Jimmy, I don't know.
Yeah,
What you tell me. Have you ever
second-
been intimidated by a woman who makes more than you?
No, never.
Or maybe there's
never.
something about her that was unattractive.
Never. I mean, it just depends on her attitude, to be honest, how she carries herself, but never that, like, to be honest. I mean, I have a question, like,
Yeah.
like, no disrespect, but like, how do, like, you say, like, you don't get with guys who are below your pay grade and stuff like that, like below your status, but like, how do you figure that out in 3 hours? Like, how do you give it up in 3 hours? And like,
Well, I didn't say I give it up in 3 hours.
You know, like you figure it out. I mean, if you figure it out in 3 hours, if it's like it's a vibe, and like he said, like a guy that's like pretty much like has nothing going for him, he's broke, and like you know, like what I'm trying to get at is like there has to be more than the material, you know, like the physical does, like, you know, and then just the vibe too, like it adds up for a lot. You know, even if they're not on your grade, because to be honest, a lot of guys, like, they're not on the 6 figures plus. You know, like I hear this a lot. Like girls have high standards, like guys got to be making X amount of money. A lot of guys are not making that much money. Like props to you for making that money, but like if the connection is there, or if even if it's not there, but like, you know, if they're not on your pay grade, you know,
what you're saying here, or
Right.
what maybe what we're thinking is it just lends itself to how many men would be available to you
Right.
who make that much.
Yeah.
So there's a smaller pool of men who make more than whatever it is that you make. So my question is, when I hear something like this, is you want a guy who offers a lot of value, right? Right? Okay. So what are you offering that person back?
Yeah.
I think
Why should that man want you?
Right.
I think like the person that I'm going to end up with, or like people that I've dated seriously and had good experiences with, don't really have that mindset. I think.
Wait, what do you mean?
As far as like asking me what it is that I'm going to offer back.
Well, everyone in the dating marketplace offers something.
Yeah. And I know that I offer things, but I feel like in my dating experience, I'm not in the business of begging or explaining like what it is that I have to offer. Like, I think if someone's my person, they see me and they see my soul and they see my spirit and they are attracted to me for that reason. And they treat me a certain way because they like treating women that way. Like, I don't want to be in a situation where I have to convince a man.
Sounds like a man has to convince you.
Right. So what if a man asks the same thing? Like, what do like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you have to offer?
And
Are you a feminist?
You know?
I think that word is convoluted, but I guess like
it's actually very simple.
Yeah.
Feminism is a very simple definition.
I don't agree, but I will say yes.
Well, Webster's dictionary would disagree with that. It is a very simple definition.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a feminist.
Are you a feminist, Trip?
Yes, I'm a feminist in the sense where I do believe that women should have equal rights to men. Doesn't mean that the same outcomes are going to happen, but if you're a feminist, so you want everyone to be equal, doesn't sound like the situation you're creating is very equal. Sounds like the man has to prove to you, but you don't have to prove to the man.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a couple reasons for that. One is just me as a person. I think I've said this in joking to my friends a lot. Like, I would be the most toxic man in the entire world. So like, I think part of it is like my personality, like my spirit, like who I am. I just happen to be born a woman. Like, so part of it is that. The other part of it, like if we're going to get into like who pays on the first date and stuff, I do, to your point, normally expect like a man to pay on the first date and things like that. That part is because like women make less money than men, like historically. It's like harder but it's harder for women. I had to work statistically. I had to work harder. I'm not speaking for any specific guy, but like
so
I had to work harder. Yeah. I had to work harder to make this money, right? I had to put in this work.
So you want handouts. You think the man who's making all that money comes easy? Not
easy, especially like not easy because I think not all of us, but a lot of people had to work. And it's not saying that like he didn't have to work, but like the amount of work statistically that I probably had to put in, it's probably more. I probably had to shut my mouth a lot more. I probably had to dim who I was a lot more. And I think like I'm owed a first date.
Maybe. So, but still it still sounds very.
Yeah.
This is why men are so frustrated with modern women.
Right.
Is because, hold on, Gwen. I know you want to say something. Hold on one second. Is because they feel that they have to prove so much to a woman and she just has to fucking show up. That sounds very messed up. It sounds very unfair for a lot of women who claim to be feminists and want everything to be equal.
Right.
But it's not. Go ahead.
Do you want to have a conversation about it?
Now I do, yeah. Okay. But first I wanted to talk and hear myself talk.
I do too. I also want to hear myself talk and have a conversation.
Great.
I think that men, particularly white men, but men generally are born with a lot more privilege of being able to access these roles, being able to access these opportunities that get them into higher earning salaries, no matter what industry or job function they're working in. Historically, men have more privilege and advantage than women, they're also not, I know that you've heard this before, but they're not facing the same costs that women face to remain attractive in a dating pool. Women pay for their hair, their nails, they pay for their clothes.
Jimmy's pissed. He left.
He's so fucking mad. He's so mad that a girl doesn't want to pay for his first date, dude. I think that women definitely face the pink charge that people say there is, you know, with feminine products and like hygiene products, makeup, beauty treatments, all of it. It's a lot more expensive to be a woman than it is a man in this world. And you don't make as much money as a man. And I'm a feminist.
It depends what industry you go into.
It does depend.
A lot of women choose industries that are not very high paying.
Well, you know that nothing in this world is everything is this and everything is that. There are levels to everything and there are different situations for everything. But generally speaking, men have more privilege and more money, and women have more costs and less opportunity. And historically, we have more advantage than we did in the past.
But we're not talking about the past. We're talking about now.
We're talking
and women
about
have
now, and
every opportunity right now. Where do women right now?
I said how I felt about where women stand already.
Right, but where do women not have opportunities today? Anyone can
I mean, I don't
in.
think it's that we don't have opportunity. I think we still have a lot of struggles that we have to face. There's the glass ceiling, which you've been talking about. Yes, we have opportunities to be CEOs and make it really high up, but it's still very, very hard, I would say. And I feel like it's kind of like a gray area where we say women have all these opportunities, women can be presidents of CEOs, but how many CEOs are women that you see in all of these major companies?
They say like diverse, like, oh, we have like 45% diverse CEOs.
Yeah, but how many women want to be
most
CEOs?
Of them aren't.
A lot.
Do you all want to be CEOs?
Yeah, but not in the environment that environment that's
you all want to be CEOs?
In the environment that's being presented to me. So like hopefully I don't get fired, but it's like I think
oh, sorry, go ahead. Then I'll branch off.
Will you remember? Because I want to.
Yes, I'll remember. Yes.
But like, I feel like for me personally in my company, it's like I'm like of color and I'm a woman and I experience way more things because I'm a woman. And I think we always talk about like, oh, like people of color, whatever, experience this. But it's like,
so you think women have it harder than men across the board?
Yes, across the board.
So you guys, so how many, so what's the percentage of women who go to war and die for the country?
What's the percentage of men who go to war and die for their country today?
A very large percentage.
In the world or the U.S.?
Well, because we look at women when they go into war, how are they treated? How are they treated?
Women don't
sexually?
Want to go to war. Women,
because
generally speaking, women don't want to be. You guys, they don't want to go to war. They don't want to be CEOs.
What is the correlation that you're drawing between going to war and being a CEO and like paying? Well,
we're talking about equality. We're talking about. And I'm just trying to point out some pictures where maybe it's not the case.
Frankly,
that women think they have it so much harder.
I'm
today.
a feminist and I don't fucking believe in equality at all. I believe in men paying for the vast majority.
That is contradictory.
True.
I honestly don't give a fuck.
Is that not
I don't care if it's contradictory because
of course you don't, because you want equality where it benefits you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because for how long has it not benefited women?
Yeah,
no, because for how long has it not benefited women? So if the patriarchy is here, why would I not like put it to my use? Why would I not?
You're doing this for yourself, not for the history of women.
And I think that every woman who has the ability to do so should do so. And I think that every woman has the ability to make it work for them where it works for them. Period.
And then so should men.
But men have been doing it and they've been allowed to do it for like since the beginning of time. Take advantage of women in multiple ways, make more than women, work when women weren't allowed to work.
Because a man might make more than a woman, that doesn't mean he was taking advantage of women.
Right.
But who set up these societies and institutions in the first place for men to make more?
The man in charge.
And guess who wants to be doing those things?
Right, exactly. It's because, so it's like a double standard though. Like I understand where women coming from. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not attacking women. I respect women. I love women. My mom, obviously I love I love my mom.
Dude,
It's a
my
cultural
mom's a
thing,
woman
right?
too.
Right, my mom, dude. You know, well, it's a cultural thing. Like I'm Mexican, so like it's different. Put it that way. But it's just like women, you know, they expect certain qualities, but then expect guys to do certain things or step up to do certain things. Well, then that's kind of contradictory to like that equality factor, you know, like you want guys to do the hard labor from the beginning of time. It just goes back to like, you know, the origin, you know, guys always been the provider, the hunter, doing the hard labor, hard work. Okay, if women were the ones doing that, and all due respect to women, then
Tapping the
right, and then that's fine, but it's not how it goes. You know, you want a guy to change your oil, you want a guy to change your brakes, you want a guy to do the hard labor, move stuff around the house. But like women, you know, some do, but majority won't do that. The hard labor work kind of stuff, like going to war, like, you know, send the men. But what are the women, you know? And sure, like some of them will do and they want to step up. But even in any field, you know, like the hard labor, like it always falls on the men. So if you want equality, you got to understand what it comes with. It comes with a lot of biologies as well, like science and how we predisposition, you know? And ultimately, to women's defense, like, yeah, men have failed women. That's just what it comes down to. Men have failed women, and we've abused our power because we've had that leeway through centuries to the beginning of time, you know, that we have that dominance. But that doesn't mean that it has to be that way. That's what I'm saying. Ultimately, that's what I'm trying to get at, you know. Women can have their share and have their, like, you know, their place, but, you know, when men also have serve a purpose. It's just going back to, I guess, more traditional way of looking at things and then dating in this aspect, you know. But that's how I'll put it.
I think we all will have I think we're all different in a way of like, to be a feminist and to be someone who supports women and like a womanist is like someone who supports women in whatever they aspire to do. So there's going to be some women who genuinely want to be the breadwinner, who like, I have a friend who she's like, yeah, I'm perfectly comfortable. Like my husband kind of like being on the back burner and I go to work. And when I come home, he kind of is like more nurturing to me. He might cook or he might clean or whatever. And I think like the whole like feminist womanist thing is more so like there's relationships are going to differ in like what I put. Like my mom is a marriage and family therapist and she always says is like there's no such thing as 50-50 in a long-term relationship. And there may be times where it's like your husband is 80% income and you're 20, but you're 100% on the kids or you're 100% on some other thing, because a relationship is way more than just income. So I think like, just like in these conversations, we all kind of, some of us had similar views, but it's like, we're all going to have something different to say because our values might be different. So I may want to be 100% on childcare. Like that's not what I want, but like say that was my thing. I want to be 100% on childcare. And I expect my husband to be 100% on income. Like, and in different points of our life, that might change and it may flip flop or it may, like the percents may change. And I think it's just like important to like highlight that like being a feminist doesn't mean everything is 50-50, because that's like not a sustainable or a realistic relationship in anything.
A woman is not going to respect a man for too long if she's the breadwinner and carrying most of the financial burden in a relationship.
True.
I don't know that that's true.
Is it true for you?
I can't speak from experience because I've never been put in that position, but I feel like I know people who are happy, like India said, to go out and earn the majority of the income and come home to a husband who cares for the children. And like,
what about you? What do you want?
I think I said it earlier. I really have no idea what I want. I have no idea what I want for my future. How do I picture it? I think it's in the ways that I've been conditioned to picture it, where I am with a man in the future and
not a woman.
I don't see my long-term future with a woman. I see it more
so the women is just for fun exploration.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
I think I could.
You got a
fall in
woman on
love
the
with a
roster
woman.
right now, right?
I think I could fall in love with a woman, but I think it's a part of me that wasn't present for a while. And so it's harder to picture it, but that's not to say that it couldn't happen. Traditionally, I think like I was raised in an area where I didn't have different types of like relationships to look up to, where it wasn't the stereotypical man provides for a woman. I didn't have like relationship models of here's a woman and woman relationship where something, this is the arrangement, or here's a relationship where a man is staying at home and doing the bulk of the domestic work when the woman goes out to provide income. I honestly, I think like communal living isn't a bad idea. Like, I don't think that it has to be just like, oh, this is the nuclear family and like this is a role that one person plays and this is a role that another person plays. I think that like people can have a community and everybody in that community can kind of support each other so that there's not unbalanced expectations on one partner
If
versus
50 men and
another.
50 women were forced onto a desert island to survive, do you think that the men and women would be doing the same activities?
No, absolutely not. I do think that there are differences in gender. I think that women are more suited to different activities, and I think that men are more suited to different activities biologically. No, I don't think that.
How old are you again? How old are you?
Why does it matter?
No, I'm just wondering, like your age. Like it does matter.
Why
like,
are you asking?
You're in your early 20s, right? Because I think it has to do.
25, but why are you asking
I think
that?
it has to do with the age and like we still trying to figure out the world and understanding and evolving. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just saying like you're just trying to figure out your way and like what do you want out of life? Like you said, you don't know what the future holds and you know what you want from it.
I think
Which
that's more
you know?
to say like I would be fine with whatever my future holds. Like I would be fine to be on my own, or I would find a partner that I'm happy
the
with.
reason I asked that,
either.
the reason you're saying that, because I felt the same way like around that age as well, you know, and to shine light to the aspect of, for example, me, like a personal experience, I lived with somebody like my ex, and which I provided for over a year. Like I provided everything, financial support. I was the breadwinner, taking care of everything, and it wasn't until where I saw that this person had potential to do something more with their life than just me, because I didn't want to be the typical guy like, hey, just stay at home and I'll take care of all the bills, this and that. I feel like the guy that to empower my partner and say, hey, you could do something more with your life, you know. To be more specific, like I felt like this person could have like obviously like finished college, but then when I went that route, it felt like I was the one like just being in the wrong and pressuring someone to do something they didn't want to. But like I've been in that role, like, you know, to just be the sole provider, and at the end of the day, like it didn't go my way. Like I was just trying to be genuine in that aspect and just care, you know, if you know, just to shed light on.
Gwen, do you want kids?
I'm not sure if I want kids. I'll speak candidly here. I have an IUD. I stay protected when I'm with people. My viewpoint on it has been, for the past 2 years, if I happen to get pregnant, I would have that child because I'm in a financial and emotional place where I could handle that, with or without whoever I ended up having that child with. But that being said, like I am very protected against it. It's, if it happened, it happened, and I would be okay with it, but I'm not planning for it.
Okay. Cool. Ginger, would you sleep with a guy who's broke?
At this age, no. Just because I feel like I'm at the age where if I'm going to be with someone, I want them to have their career. I want them to be able to provide back to me. If it's someone that maybe I'm out on a first date and they can't even buy me a drink, it's kind of a turnoff. So, I mean, honest short answer, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much does he have to make?
That's a good question. I mean, he doesn't have to be, a millionaire or anything, but I want to be with someone ideally to the point where if anything happens to me, maybe I get laid off and I need him to help like with the month's rent, he would be able to do that. So I don't have a specific number, but just at the age that I'm at with dating, I want someone who can take care of me if I need it. Not that I need it and that I would lean on it and use them for it.
So
but
insurance.
yeah. Well, no, explain what you mean by that.
Well, insurance is like just in case something happens,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
something to help you out.
Yeah.
So it's like an insurance plan.
Yeah, because I feel like if I'm dating someone for the long term, I would want to know that it's not all on me, that if something happens, we're not going to be able to pay the bills, like everything's going to go to hell. And I would want him to feel that way too, where if he lost his job, I'd be able to cover rent for both of us. So,
Okay.
So short answer, no.
I have a question. So what do you mean by like sleeping? Because it's like very detailed. What do you mean by sleeping with someone? Because sleeping with someone is different from like having a relationship. Like what she went into is more like a relationship base. Are you talking about just like, going straight into it, or like from like building a relationship with somebody?
It was vague for a reason. I was curious to see what you would say.
that's what I'm
But you bring up a
interested.
great point. So now let's ask, would you just sleep with a guy who's broke?
No, because if I'm on a date with someone and you can't buy me dinner, you can't buy me a drink, it's kind of a turn off.
What
Just
is
to be
that?
honest.
What if this is all they can do? Like they just planned it out, like just have enough to buy you like that one date to sleep with you. I'm just curious as well.
So is the dinner just the
Yeah,
with me?
like they could like I've known many colleagues that just finesse their ways into it. Like they're on the way of going broke, probably don't have anything. Just have
Well,
like
I feel like
they
if you're on the
finesse
way
you.
of going broke, you shouldn't be trying to take me out to dinner. You
Right,
should be
but they'll
saving your
but
money.
but I'm saying what if they do it and they make you feel like, yeah, I still have the status and whatnot, but realistically they're going broke or they have nothing left, but they just have the suit and tie per se to show it just to get in your pants,
Well, how would you know that?
Yeah, that's why
So
I
that's-
said
so
no.
that's- I'm
like
curious,
that
I'm
second
curious,
date
right.
thing. Like I don't
See,
have.
that's
I
where
don't
I'm
do
going.
it
That's
the
where I'm
first
going.
date because it's
Right.
like to what I said
Right.
earlier. It's like everybody can get that little suit and tie,
Right.
get their little monies together for
Right.
that first date.
Because I still have my suit and tie, my
Yeah.
guy. I still have that.
So
I don't have
that's
the
why we
status.
going on multiple dates because I got to see you got more money than just the little
It's a
first
money
date,
thing. So
and also more
Right.
personality because people put their best
Right.
personality forward, their best,
Mm.
how they treat you, how they text you. It's not just the money thing. I'm
Mhm.
simplifying it for this, but it's like people can change how they treat
Right.
you and talk to you after that first little initial
right.
thing.
So I'm curious. So women won't just be because like, oh, I'm in the moment, I'm in heat per se. Like I just want to do it, and this guy's the part, so let me do it. So it's just regardless if I'm in the moment, like this guy has to be a guy of status, right? That's what you're
Some
saying.
women do
I
that.
think
Right.
there's like situations. I'm not
Okay.
speaking for myself, but like
Yeah.
I'd imagine,
Right.
you go out to a club or you go
Right,
out
right.
to a show and you meet somebody and you're vibing with them. You're like dancing, you're vibing. You're
Right.
not like, oh, what do you do for work? What's your
Right,
income level? Can you do this? Can you do that? Like if you're
Yeah.
out and doing that, you're probably like kind of drunk.
Right.
And so
exactly.
you're not, you might just end up sleeping with somebody who's broke, but it's literally
Right.
that. It's just sleeping with them. It's not dating them.
Yeah. So that's what you were asking, kind of like, right?
Yeah. I'm still curious also about, it sounds like India and Ginger, I think Gwen, not sure yet, you want to be with someone who is wealthier than you. So there has to be some sort of strategy in a sense to attract a guy who is wealthier than you. Maybe it's just looks, I don't know. But what are you offering as value to that guy? For what reason would he pick you or want to stay with you?
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily looking for someone wealthier than me. I just wouldn't want there to be too big of a gap to the point where every bill is on me, every month's rent is on me. If I'm making more money,
So you want to like equal, like
either equal or there could be a little distance in between. I'm just saying I don't want it to be where everything is on me. Like once we're in a relationship, once we're living together, then there should be some balance, some structure between
Except
us.
for the first date, he has to pay.
Yes,
Oh, that's okay.
the first date. Unless if I'm not interested in him, then I'm paying for my meal. Yeah,
Ooh.
Damn.
because I don't want him to be like, well, I bought her
That's
dinner.
how-
Yeah,
Or
once
dinner,
a
That's
woman
how-
offers to pay, sounds like
Right.
she's probably not interested.
Wow.
But India, you were going to say
Let me
something.
write that down.
I was gonna say I definitely agree with her in that point of like there can be a little
Well,
bit.
hang on. You want someone you said you want someone who makes more money than you. So
That's true.
you
I
still haven't,
said
you still
that,
haven't
but-
answered the question
Facts.
of what are you offering the guy?
So I will answer that, but I will correct my statement. And it's like if there's a teeny bit of a gap, but we're still the same lifestyle, we can still go out to eat. Like even if we weren't together, like he's with his friends, I'm with my friends, we eat the same places. Cause I think it's more so of like the lifestyle that we both live. If we live the same lifestyle, that's fine. If he makes 20,000 less, whatever. So correcting what I said. But then what do I feel like I have to offer?
Yeah.
I would not say this to him because like I said, I'm not in the business of begging anybody,
That's
but
okay. It's all in the circle.
but it's just us.
Same
It's just
facts.
us. Just us. So
Yeah.
Right.
Many
I
other
would
thousands
say,
of people
like-
who will see this, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
I really am a person who values like communication and like emotional support and caregiving and nurturing. And I don't like to tell people that or show people that because people can take advantage of people who have
I can
those
tell
types
there's
of-
a
Right.
hard front here.
Exactly. So it's like people will take advantage of those types of qualities because I'm very like I said, nurturing, caregiving, and like really like the people that like I decide to let in, I care about like a lot. So it's like I'm just someone who's like, I guess like the phrase that you could say is like a ride or die, even like if we're in it, like we're in it.
Loyal.
And like very loyal. Like I'm a Cancer for anyone who's into zodiac.
Would you get rid of your guy friends for your man?
I think that's toxic. Now, if there was reason behind it, like, oh, I had a guy friend and he like it was kind of obvious the guy friend was trying to sleep with me. If there's reason, like I'd have a conversation.
All your guy friends want to sleep with you.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
That's true. But if it's noticeable that my
Yeah.
guy friend wants to sleep with me and he has
Yeah.
reason, I would, or like at least tone it down. Like I would
Down.
be open to boundaries. Like I'd have the conversation, but I'm not gonna like.
What if he had 8 girlfriends? Would you be cool with that?
And he's telling me I can't have any guy friends, but he has 8 girlfriends.
No, separate question.
Separate. Okay.
Are you
Um,
cool with him having a bunch of girlfriends?
I actually am not. Like I've had guys that I've dated really seriously or been with that had female friends. I personally am not uncomfortable with it because I feel like if she can take you, she can have you. Cause it's like it wasn't for me any like you weren't for me anyway. So if that's what was gonna happen, me being a stickler about it and saying, oh, you can't do this is not gonna change the fact that you were gonna do something. If you was gonna do it, you were gonna do it, whether I said no or not.
Okay.
So
All right. So offering, nurturing, loyal.
caring, like I think I do like a lot of like just like I think what I saw.
But do you think that would
Yeah.
make you stick out more than other women?
Right.
Not necessarily. I don't
Um,
really know what it is about me, but I just know that like when I date people, I do stick out and they always are very much like, oh, like you're the best woman ever. Like before I don't have sex with like some of these people say this and I still will never have sex with them. And I think it may just be like that. And I think it's like I'm a genuine person. I'm a person who like pushes people to be a better version of themselves. So like I'll be like, oh, I see you, like say we were dating. I see you have your personal fitness business. I would see something that you're doing in your business that you can enhance. And I'll be like, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? Let me support you do that. Like, I feel like I make people better versions of themselves. And like, you can't really replace that.
Right.
Okay.
So I have a question though.
Yes.
And like
sir.
this is from a guy's perspective, and no disrespect to you at all, right? Just
I'll
put it out
try.
there.
We gonna
Right.
see.
So based on what you're saying from a guy's perspective, it's like, what do you really have to offer a guy? Because like, let's just say, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you're a 10, right? But there's like a 14 or 15 that's like giving it up just like nothing, you know? Like, You get what I'm saying? Like, why would a guy chase you if you know what I'm saying?
If I have
he's got-
higher standards.
right? But if he has like a 14 or a 15, like just like tossing it up, why would what separates you? Because the 14, 15 is saying the same thing, but that person just gave it up just like that easier. But you're like this amount of money, this amount of X, Y, and Z. It's like, would a guy really like? And again, no disrespect to you, like
Yeah,
obviously,
it's a
I'm just
question,
speaking
yeah.
right,
You're
like
asking.
what I'm saying, like what. And it goes back to what he's saying about how like the dating pool overall is just like,
Well, Jimmy, let me
it's
ask you
tough.
this. I think now I'm curious to hear from you.
Yeah.
What is it that you want from a woman? Right. So
right.
I asked them, like,
Right.
what is it that they have
Right.
to offer? What is it that you want? Like, maybe you can
Good question.
open their minds
Right,
to what is
expand
it
your mind.
that a man wants.
Right. Good question. So that's why I asked her age earlier. Like, again, no disrespect to anybody, it's to you specifically, because I feel like as me specifically, as I age and as I'm, this sport, like I'm an athlete, has taught me discipline, and I think when a man like handles discipline, it's like you get to expand your horizon, your mind opens up, and it's not just about the superficial, it's not about like the physical, like how does it grow up, because most guys
Hold on.
9 out of 10
let's do
guys
something real quick, Jimmy.
right.
Stop apologizing for yourself.
All right.
Okay. They didn't say that. There's like, well, I don't know, but
Right.
just be honest. What is it that you want?
Yeah, just
What do you
it's
want?
just in my nature.
What is value? I know. So fuck the nice guy shit for a second. Like, what is it that you want? Like, they had no problem.
Right.
I want a guy who's going to pay for the first date. I want a guy who's going to like make a bunch of money. I want a guy who's going to blah 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 blah.
All right.
Great, confident. Go.
All right. So
No filter. What do you want?
guys, we're kings too,
The reason why
right.
I'm going to interrupt. The
Right,
reason
right,
why
right.
this is so hard for you right now
Yeah.
is because we are shamed for what we want.
Yeah.
This is a
That's
problem.
facts.
We are
That's
shamed.
facts.
Women are praised. Go get that man.
Right.
Get the man who makes 6 figures, 6 inches, da 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 da. Is this interesting to you? Is this opening your minds a
He's
little
like,
bit?
yeah.
We're- okay.
She's like, she's heard this
It's
Yeah,
just
because they
before.
don't give a
entertaining
fuck.
to hear.
Yeah.
We're ashamed for what we want. This is why
Right.
it's so hard for you. So just hit it.
Big facts. Like, yeah, like we're men, we're kings too. Like so for example, like I work hard on my body. Like I'm not just gonna give it up for anybody. Just plain and simple. Like
we know
dude,
that.
like,
You're not
you know what I'm
answering the
saying?
question,
Like,
Jimmy.
yeah,
What
like
do you
what we
want?
want, like
Yeah, what do
we
you want?
so this, but that's the difference between like how when I was younger and
You
now.
can do this, Jimmy. You're not
Like
answering the
now,
question, Jimmy.
bro.
Come on.
I'm telling you, dead ass. Like I'm being sorry.
top 3
You
things
want
you
a
look
woman.
for.
It's not what you want to hear. Like I want loyalty.
We don't care. Yes,
like,
good.
loyalty is number
Loyalty.
one.
Oh,
You know what I'm
that's why I
saying?
said that already. So
Loyalty,
number 2,
right?
period.
Want looks. I mean, I want somebody that cares about their body. I just be 100 about it. Like
Okay. Yeah.
you gotta be able to maintain that stuff. And the third one is like you gotta put in the effort. I'm sorry, you
Effort for what?
got to effort.
What's that?
Like
look
you gotta give a fuck. Like you have to give a fuck. Like
What
you
does
know
that
what I'm
look like?
saying?
Give me an example. Of
Give
what
a
it looks-
fuck
what
is
it
like
looks
make
for them to give a
time,
fuck.
dude. Like make time. Like I have a crazy ass schedule. Like I have like up and down, and not just make time, but like it ties in with respect. Like I'm always around people, always around women, but like you have to make time and respect that. Like I'm gonna be around women, like just my profession, and you have to work around that and just be there, show up when I need you to show up. That's just factual. But again, I'm speaking from my perspective. Speaking from majority of guys is different. Like that's a whole nother ballpark. Majority of guys is physical.
I'd say it's pretty similar to some of the things you said.
Yeah.
We got a super chat here from Scotty Rose. He says, "Trip here, bud. My appreciation for you. First time ladies other than Ginger are turning me off and red flags. I don't think they are
Damn.
ladies for trip advice, guys. You know what I mean. Keep it up, Ginger."
I think you guys did your job then. You're
Damn.
making controversy. If you're
Perfect.
getting
Absolutely.
comments,
I
need
came
to start
here
turning
and I
people
was
off now.
like, I actually want all of Trips fans to think I'm gross.
Damn.
Let's get a poll. Who thinks that
Damn.
Gwen is gross? If you think she's gross, say gross. If you don't, forever hold your peace.
Damn.
While you guys are doing that, we can. First of all, anyone want a refill on drinks?
Shit, I want to refill.
Because
no
one's
we've got full
No, it's not
drinks.
intermission.
It is to me
Oh.
on a Monday.
But yeah, you can pass that around. Does anyone want a Truly? or
Whatever
White
that
Claw,
is, here.
Could I get a water?
Who
or
wants-
water,
Like
Who
a
wants
true
Custard
White
or
Claw.
tequila, or
tequila? You want
go to
I
work
have
tequila?
some
tomorrow.
tequila
Well,
already.
You gotta chug.
you'll be fine.
Tequila?
I'm okay. I have a shot in my glass for.
I'll
if
take
I,
like a Truly or a White
like I
Claw
need that.
if it's a made
White Claw.
Okay, so we'll get teed up with the next question.
All right. Then the next hype, I'm going crazy, guys. Just know
Okay.
it, bro.
I
no
like it.
filters, bro. No filters.
Good. Stop apologizing for yourself. I like that.
Thank you.
Fuck everybody.
Okay. Okay. Let's start on this side of the table with Gwen. Gwen,
Pass the
actually,
water.
let's talk to Ginger first because we haven't heard from her too much. She's being nice and quiet over here.
She's
Do
the
you
fan
think-
I know.
favorite.
Do you think guys are attracted to women who are promiscuous?
Well, attracted, I'm going to ask you a deeper question. Attracted in a relationship or attracted just to hook up?
We can have both. Let's answer both. Do you think guys are attracted to women who are promiscuous for a hookup and for a relationship?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I would say for a hookup, I feel like, yeah, I think they're attracted to girls that are, I don't like the term promiscuous.
What term do you want? Slut?
No, I
Yeah.
don't like that term either.
Negative.
I went the nice route.
Right.
I said
You did.
promiscuous.
You did.
Because
Or
if we're going to say
304.
promiscuous, I think we should use it for guys too.
Well, hold on.
Well,
One question at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, so I don't know. Yeah, I think guys are easy and they like what they can easily get. And the shortest answer I can put. And that's not calling-
What about for a relationship?
For a relationship, I don't think it matters because I know friends and myself personally where I've hooked up with someone on the first date and we were in a relationship for 1 year. So there was another one that was 2 years. And there have also been times where you just see someone as that and you don't want anything else. So I really just feel like it's the deeper connection that you have with that person.
Okay, so you think a guy wouldn't care your body count, how many
Negative.
or how many men-
Negative.
The guy
Or
that
women.
I want
Negative.
Within the
wouldn't count.
past.
The
Negative.
guy that I want wouldn't
Negative.
care. But I do think there
Okay.
are some guys
Negative.
that care.
Negative.
Jimmy, wait
Negative.
your turn.
He wasn't
Negative,
lying.
my
He said he
God,
was gonna
sorry.
call out this time.
India?
What was the question?
The question was, do you think guys are attracted to women who are promiscuous?
I think there's a sexual attraction, like that innate attraction to women that are promiscuous. Like, oh, I want to have sex with her. Yes, like that 1st thing. But I think as far as the relationship long term, a lot of men have shared with me that they would not prefer that. Like the promiscuous girl is like a that night girl, and the person that they think is their wife is not showing that, at least outwardly.
Gwen?
I think I kind of take Ginger's stance on this. Like, although I have a roster at the moment, do not consider myself a promiscuous person. Like, my body count is very low.
What's your body count?
It's like 9.
Including the 3? Is that,
Uh-huh.
is that men
That's
and
including
women?
the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
including everybody. Yeah.
Damn.
So a third of your body count is just in the last couple. Oh, because you were in a 3.5
got
year
racked up
relationship.
when I got out of my little relationship.
So you're in the 304 phase. You're in the hoe phase.
I'm in the hoe phase, but the thing
Right.
is the hoes love
Ginger
me.
didn't like
I
that.
almost love
The
you.
hoes
No, I just made the
love
connection.
me. Like
Yeah.
the hoes want to be with me, but I don't want to be with the hoes. You
Wait,
know,
what hose?
the
The
roster
three.
hoes.
Oh, the roster wants to be with you.
But I don't per se want to be with them in turn.
Wouldn't that then in turn make them not your roster?
No,
Facts.
Why are you
Facts.
still hanging
because
out with
it's
He's
them?
right.
circulating.
All right.
Loneliness. Filling the hole.
Filling the hole.
All right.
I didn't actually mean that in the sexual way. I meant that in the emotional way, but we can go with both.
Yeah. No, I think like I've definitely seen it before where I have friends who have like stupid, ridiculous body counts who like end up in long-term relationships.
What's the
and-
number on a stupid ridiculous?
Oh my gosh, I know a girl who's got like hundreds.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Find a flight attendant.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Damn. Oh yeah.
Flight attendants have high body counts.
Flight attendants have
Doesn't surprise me.
body
That's
counts.
facts.
Okay.
I hear that too.
But
Man, if the guys that she was with knew
Right.
So
About her
here's the
past.
thing, right?
Right.
It's all mindset. It's like,
Right.
okay, he's made his stance clear.
I don't know what that is, dude.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We'll find out though.
But like there are guys who are definitely like, ugh, I don't want to be with a girl who's like slept with the world. And then there are guys who are like, well, you know, whatever. Like we all go through our things. We all like explore ourselves how we do.
No.
And
Those guys are lying.
No,
I think
exactly.
I've never lived that experience of being a man seeking a woman and caring about her body count. So I can't speak to that. But I think that there's somebody out there for everybody.
Damn.
Jimmy, do you
I
care
mean-
about a woman's body count?
I mean, yeah, like who goes around talking about their body count? First of all, like, bro,
Us
like,
here on this
that's-
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently.
I guess me right now.
Like, not on a date, like, even when you're in a relationship, like, bro, like, you keep that to yourself. Like, gee, like, if
So
you
you-
really,
so-
if you really like,
You don't tell your partner how many
no,
So wait, so you don't want
that.
to you don't want to know
No, I don't want to know.
why?
No,
Why not?
no, bro. Because like you're building, it's like you're building a foundation from the bottom up. It's like the past is the past. You know, I can't recall, but like I feel like we've been like talking about the past a lot. Like this in the past, like that's in the past. Like especially like if you girls want a relationship, like no, like you don't talk about the past. Like that's for a reason. It's the past. Like now you're building the future with somebody. Like everybody has a past. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you and I have a past. Like, everybody, dark or whatever. Like you know, like just build the future. Like especially when you connect with somebody. Like just keep it 100. Like just build that future and just move on with your life.
So
you know? You
what
don't
if
talk
she-
about the body count.
Because you don't want to know. You're scared.
Oh, from like guys' perspective, like not that we're scared, but like nah, like we get turned off by that. Like it's not a turn on. It's like not like that's guy talk. Like it's like bro talk. Really like you know what I'm saying, like you with your bros, like your gym bros, like in the locker room, like yeah, talk like oh it's like I smash, you know, like but that's it. Like you don't like talk that with your girl, like or a girl that you're interested, like oh shit, like I've been. It's a turn off. Like I don't even see how a girl will like respect that, like bro, like. It's a turn off. Like you don't talk about that at all. Like your body count. You know?
India, if you said that you said that you think men don't want to be with a woman who has a high body count. Yes?
Because I think the question I was answering was like
Facts.
promiscuous. So it's like I was just picturing a girl who may be like outwardly sexual, maybe on Instagram. She has like more like provocative stuff. But like if I'm going to answer like the body count question specifically,
Well, I think
like,
it's kind of the same.
oh.
Promiscuity, body count.
I don't think it's the same because I think someone could like have a sexual energy and like show a certain sexual side and not have had sex with a lot of people at all.
Interesting point.
I agree.
Yeah.
Interesting
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Facts.
a man wouldn't want to be with someone.
right.
I think, yeah, you know what? You make a good point. I think both have a vibe. Well, one is literally promiscuous. The other one has a vibe of being promiscuous.
Right.
Yeah, because
There's
like
a
I could
difference.
go on Instagram and be like, I'm naked and I've only had sex with 2 people. And
Right.
vice versa. I can never post anything outwardly and like I
Right.
might wear sweaters and turtlenecks every day, but I've had
Mhm.
sex with 50 people.
Right.
Either
Like,
way,
You know-
both
Right.
promiscuous.
Right.
So then, knowing that, are you actively trying to keep your body count low?
I think yes, but I think part of that is because of societal like expectations that have been placed on me that I don't necessarily agree with, but I can't lie and sit here and be like they don't have an influence on me.
Tell me more about that. And then Ginger, I hear you agreeing, so I want you to chime in.
I think like growing up, even before I ever had sex or like any type of sexual relation, it was taught to me like, oh, like you're valued by like not like I think the first value is being a virgin. And it was like, you've never had sex and you're so valuable because you're a virgin and like don't lose your virginity. I even had like an aunt tell me that, like someone in my family. So I think like it's the value on like how little sex you've had has always been like reinforced in my life. So because I've had that since before I even started having sex, I think about that in my head. And I think even men have reinforced that even at like this age, I'm 27, like I've had men say like, okay, like I wouldn't want to like be with you if you've had sex with a lot of people.
And
Like
that bugs you a little bit.
yeah, because I'm like, while I may meet your criteria, I only meet it because I'm reacting to like how society has told me I'm supposed to act. Like I've been told I'm not supposed to have sex with a lot of people.
So do you desire to have more sexual partners than society seems to judge you for?
That's a really good question. I think I would have to go figure that out with a therapist. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
Hey, I'm your therapist.
Maybe Jimmy's your therapist. Well, like gut feeling, gut answer to that.
I think I probably like if it was like the whole
Like, do you
like
feel like something's holding you back? You just want to be banging everybody?
I don't think it's like that. I think that's like taking it to an extreme. But I do think that whole like, oh, the first date went really well. If it wasn't for the society thing, there may have been times at younger ages where I would have just had sex with a person after the first date if the first date went well. But because of like what society has taught me and what like different men in my life have reinforced, I will not do that.
Damn.
Ginger, what are your thoughts here?
That's crazy.
Real quick, we got a super chat from Brian Gonzalez. Ladies, a high value man will not be okay with you being promiscuous. The only ones okay with that are the beta males who you don't want or respect.
Damn, betas.
Any reactions to that? Nothing. Crickets. Okay, Mac says, if your past don't matter, why is the wedding dress white for virginity?
Facts.
I
Interesting.
don't know. I think that's the time period that tradition came up in. No,
I think so too.
Okay, Ginger.
That's interesting.
Your comment to what we were talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, to just go off of what India was saying, I feel like we all know of the double standard. Like girls grow up and we're taught immediately in like middle school, as soon as we start to go through all of our changes, where our virginity is the most precious thing about us. But we all know for guys, like the more girls you hook up with, the better of a man you are. Like we all know the double standard. But I feel like for me, it really took a lot of work to understand that it's healthy as a woman to want to have sex. You know, sometimes I'll see a guy and I'll just only see him as sex and I just want to hook up with him. And it takes a lot of work to realize that that's okay. It doesn't have to be every single date. Of course not, as long as there's the respect and the consent. But I feel like it just puts so much pressure on us to make us as women feel like we can't do that, where it really is okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about the
true.
consequences of our actions, right? So whether we can judge it morally, if it's good or if it's bad or if it's neutral or whatever, there still is the fact that most men don't want to be with a very promiscuous woman. So the results might be, okay, I'm going to work through my therapy and do whatever I'm going to do.
Right.
And F society, I'm just going to, do the sexual things I want to do. Okay, so that is fine. But the consequences might come in the form of men not being attracted to that.
And that's why I don't do it. Because it's like, I understand the consequences that you speak of. They're real. I was taught them for a reason because that's how society is.
Who taught you that?
Oh, I think like both men and women. I think like it started with the women in my life growing up. Like I said, like I had an aunt, I think different women, like older cousins, whatever. And then I think men reinforce it. Men will say like, oh, I like you because you don't have this high body count. I like you because you're saying that sounds not great, but like, I think like it's been reinforced. And this is crazy. I was telling Gwen, like I had a conversation with my dad today. He was saying like, oh, he thought I wore something on Instagram that was like revealing. And he literally said like, don't even wear that type of stuff. He says, you're a beautiful woman, act like it. So I think I've just been, it's conditioning.
Let me tell you this right now. If I say one good thing on this podcast is like, if someone's going to love you, they're going to love you for you.
Yeah.
Who you are. So don't worry about that. We all make mistakes. We all have a past. But again, like you don't have to tell if someone's gonna vibe with you and really gonna want to be with you, they're not even gonna talk. A guy's not even gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
Trust me, like I've had many vibes and it's like I don't even want to ask that. If a guy's gonna ask that, then like next, that guy's not even worth your time.
Do you think you've always been like that, or do you think you matured into that?
I feel like only in my when I'm really interested in somebody, to be honest, like when I'm really interested in somebody, like I don't care about their past. Like we all have a past. It's dark. We all know this. Like no one's innocent. But like
you're on a date.
Right. No, I don't ask that.
You really like
No.
a girl.
I don't ask that. Go ahead.
Gwen,
Continue.
you need something?
Continue.
Do you have Red Bull?
Do we have Red
Yeah.
Bull?
Bro, we have Red Bull and
No.
vodka around
Yeah, I
here
know.
and
You're awfully quiet over
cranberry.
there.
She needs some Red Bull and
It's
vodka. Yeah.
Hydrate. Okay.
Wake up,
So,
up.
Jimmy,
Water.
you're on a second date, first date with a girl.
Yeah.
You're vibing.
Oh,
It's good.
it's going
She's
good.
hot.
Montrose Beach.
Oh my
baby.
God. You're at Montrose Beach for some reason here.
Yeah.
For some reason,
For some reason.
you're
Got the blankets
it's
out.
blankets are out. Wow, she likes the same music as you. Da, da, ba, da, ba. She's like, hey, listen, I was a porn star.
Damn, bro, you really hit me with a curveball. Because like, if
Are you cool with this?
right, if you would have said like if she would have said the body count, then I would have been like, damn, the body was too good, but it's over. But since you said like it's a porn star, see that doesn't specifically say a body count. Like I can like literally ignore that. Like to be honest, I can literally ignore that.
You can ignore porn
Right,
star.
right. Because I've dated before a stripper, so like I understand that. Like there has to be a deeper point to it, but like I think I'm not saying 100%
God
sure
bless you, Jimmy.
because I
God-
haven't been with a porn
God
star, but
bless
like I can't 100% say that, but like, I think maybe I could. But yeah, for sure, for like facts, like FAX, like if it's a like body count, then yeah, that's like it's a no go. But if it's like okay, like porn star, like a stripper, then like
So we have
you know
like a
what I'm
little
saying?
don't ask, don't tell policy going.
Yeah,
for you.
kind of like,
yeah,
bro,
we
like,
learned that for sure.
But you know, another thing too is like the second day is like you don't really want to go into all that. Like on the second day, like that's more like you know what I'm saying. Like I don't want to know the body count. Like I just don't.
Good point,
I don't. You know what I'm saying? The body count's
yeah,
irrelevant. Like if you're vibing, the body count's irrelevant. Like we don't have a past. Again,
we got a super chat from Mac. He
All right.
says body count matters because
Nah.
semen matters. In what world
Right.
can
But if
genetic?
you-
Hang on, Jimmy. In what world can genetic / hormonal information be injected, or tropical absorbed and not have an effect on someone? Women are
Bro.
receptive. Don't bang the table. Women are receptive in nature. Semen has an effect. So I think what he's
No.
referencing is that the more people, or the more guys that women sleep with, the more it can have.
Bro, who is this guy? Is he a virgin? No offense, bro.
No, but I think a lot. I think to his
I
point,
think
a lot
it's
of
a good
guys.
point.
No,
yeah.
like,
It's a really
Okay,
good point.
what I
Bro,
will
because
say,
you don't ask
It's gonna
that,
have
bro.
more of an. It's gonna have more of an effect on a woman sleeping with 100 men
Right.
than a man sleeping with 100
Well, a woman
women.
has like an emotional
Biologically-
connection, like right with the like when she sleeps around, she has emotional. We all know that for a fact, but again, it's like if you're vibing, you don't ask that stuff. Like we all have a past, like bro. Guys, like first of all, like we're more hornier. Like we're always watching porn. You know, like not me specifically, but in general, like we're always like, you know what I'm saying? We're always more active and ready to go. We're ready to fuck. Like you know, like girls are different.
Well,
so
let's
again, like
let's
why?
let's see here. Gwen, starting with you, who do you think is more horny, women or men? Let's just go with a simple one-word answer.
that's crazy.
That's 2 words.
It's all good.
Men.
Ginger.
Men.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard because men are allowed to be hornier. You guys aren't shamed for it. So it's hard to know.
whether you're shamed or not shamed. We
Right,
have
right,
natural
right.
reactions.
But I feel
in
like
our
women
body.
have to hide a lot of
It's
their
not about, hold on.
desires and
It's
feelings.
not about hiding or not hiding.
I
It's
know,
about, like,
but that's
feeling.
why I'm saying it's harder to tell. It's harder to gauge like who really is hornier because men can be more open about it, and it's fine. We can laugh about it, but if women are talking about it, it's kind of like, ugh. Even though we know it's not weird or anything, but society makes women want to feel like you can't be horny, you can't hook up with this many people, you better wait until like the 5th date. So it's hard to gauge, but
The data for
Yeah.
porn, I'm sure, suggests that more men are watching that than
Mhm.
women.
Mhm.
But India, what do you think?
I think naturally, without any societal influence, equal.
Equal.
Mhm.
Jimmy?
Dude, to be honest, until recently, yeah, like I believe that. Like I believe it's equal. Just like she was saying, it's just societal. Like society makes women like more like in the shadows about it, and guys like oh more we could flaunt about it more. But yeah, like I'm like I'm not convinced that it's like like she was saying it's equal, guys and women. Yeah,
I don't agree. I do not agree. I think biologically men do not need the same comforts and securities that a woman does to have sex. I think that
yeah.
makes a man much hornier.
But we're not talking about that. We're just saying.
Well,
No, hold on.
no.
This is an interesting point. Continue.
Yeah, Jimmy.
No, Jimmy, I love you, man. You're doing great.
Yeah, I think that biologically, women are programmed to need certain comforts and securities to want to do that with another person, where men don't have that same experience. I brought it up earlier, and it's only because I find it so interesting. Like, my gay friends will hook up with people off of Grindr
Wait,
so fast.
male gay?
Male gay.
Okay.
Yeah, male gay. They will hook up with. So, coming from a queer perspective, men will hook up with men off of Grindr so quickly before they even go on a date. It's just, I'm meeting up at your house and I'm having sex with you and I'm going home. Where women, it's like actually so hard to date women from a woman's perspective. Like, they really need you to like build trust with them before they feel comfortable doing anything with
I've heard the
you.
lesbian relationship is very fiery.
Yeah, it takes a while to get there.
I heard girls fuck better, but I've
heard that too, yeah.
I just heard.
I'm curious. Is that the next question?
Gwen?
I want to know more. Producer
I mean, the
wants to know
rumors
more.
are true.
Yeah, let's go into that.
But
No, I
To
think
the original
what you're
question.
saying, the smartest thing you've said all night so far, Gwen.
Yeah.
I think you should shut up.
This is a genuine compliment. That is the
Shut up.
smartest thing that you've said. Just very smart to think that way. Yes, that I like how you analyze that. That okay. I already lost it. What was it? That men
Right. Like
They
just
don't need
hook
the
up,
same
hook up.
comforts and
That's it. Okay.
securities. Yeah.
Right.
Quick,
so
quick.
because we don't need that, almost like biologically speaking, it's easier for us to just be like, all right, what woman would I want to be with? Where
Right.
a woman, it's almost like, okay, hold on, before I get turned on, there's a lot more that needs to
Yeah.
be involved
It's
here.
like
Emotions.
I need to not feel that this person is a threat or a danger to my well-being and safety, because women, when they put themselves in the situation of being intimate with another person, the risk is much higher, because if you're entering into a typical heterosexual relationship, the man generally is larger than you and can cause more harm to you than you could to them.
Right.
And so I think just like in our animal lizard brains, we're
Right.
thinking like, what
Right.
is a threat? What is not a threat?
Right.
Totally.
She makes
Totally.
a great point.
Can this begs another question here?
Great point.
Or real quick, we got another super chat. Don't know why it's not popping up. There we go. Are we fighting each other, cousin? We were fighting each other. Okay. We got cousin Jake, who's manning the chat here. Okay. Brian says raw data suggests women lose their pair bonding abilities after 6 bodies on average. Bro with the hat, you need to take the red pill and stop simping.
What's the red pill and how are you gonna call me? How are you gonna call me?
You can look it up
bro?
after this. Okay,
How are you
my
gonna-
question,
Bro, your body counts low.
out of what we're
first of
saying
all.
here is, can a woman, Ginger, let's start with you. Can a woman take the emotion out of sex, and can it be purely physical?
I think some women can, but most, I know for me personally, there's always going to be a little bit of emotion. But I do think some women can.
But for you,
But for me, I like to have a connection.
have you ever had unconnected, purely physical
I
intercourse?
have. Yeah, especially like back in college when you're just having fun. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I'm looking for something more serious, more connection, just really thinking about my time, I would say.
Okay. India?
No, like agree with Ginger. Like I don't really have like unemotional sex. Like I think there's always going to be a certain level of like emotional connection that I feel, or like to Gwen's point, like I need to feel a certain level of security or safety before having sex. So I don't think there's ever going to be like this is purely physical, like I'm having sex with you only because I think you physically are attractive.
G Money?
Yeah, I mean, I said my piece on this. For me personally, it's always emotional, maybe not in the sense that I want to have a relationship with you, but in the sense that I feel respected and safe as a person around you.
Okay. So could you sleep with the guy that you didn't respect?
No.
And I feel
So
like
you've
respect
respected-
and safety is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Respect and safety is the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It looks like we're all agreeing on that.
Yeah.
Jimmy, could you sleep with a woman that you didn't respect?
Oh, that's facts. And to the guy, hey, to the guy, hey, to the guy.
Jimmy!
First of all, hey, put some respect on my name. I'm the back-to-back, all right? Two-time, all right?
Wait, what?
The guy, the fucking, was Super Chat or what?
Matt.
Super Chat, right? What's his name, Matt?
Matt.
Brian.
Oh,
Oh, he's coming back. Hey, put some respect. Put some fucking respect on my name. Hey, the back-to-back. No disrespect to Dr. Disrespect, but
No
like
disrespect, but you would sleep with a woman that you didn't respect.
Period.
factual.
Factual. Brian's back. He says, my body count is irrelevant. This is objective data. Women are emotional
That's a
beings.
beta answer.
Once
First of
you
all,
lose that, it's
Call me
difficult
a
to pair
beta.
bond.
Call me a
Will you
fucking
ask
beta.
Brian his body count?
Right,
You can't.
bro.
He's listening.
Brian, what's your
he's
body
gonna lie. He's a
count?
fucking capper, bro. Come on now.
I think he keeps on messaging. He like
Hey,
obviously
exactly.
wants to tell us.
Brian's
what
the
it
man.
is.
Brian, thank you for your super chat.
You should
Really appreciate
invite
it.
Brian on here.
Would
Brian
love to invite
sounds
Brian
like
on
he has
here.
so much to say.
Brian, hey, invite me on your show, yeah?
This is great.
Beta.
Wow. Why do you think he's a beta?
Bro, because everything he's saying is a fucking beta. Like,
But why?
It's fact.
Wait, why?
That
Wait,
is
I
the cherry
think-
on top,
I think
bro.
Brian's making great points.
What is this
what
point?
has he
Talk
said?
to me from the
I think you're just pissed
top
because he
to the
called you
bottom.
a simp.
top to bottom. Top to bottom.
What-
Reiterate
what-
his
what-
questions.
comments?
What is that?
I understand he
Talk to
offended
me.
you, but what did he say that you didn't agree with?
Talk to me. No, dude, he called me a simp. What else he say about
Okay,
me?
he's just pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Mac, thanks for the super chat, man. He says, Jimmy in the black community.
Thank you.
Black women.
Black community, black power.
Are you black? Your last name is Lopez, isn't it?
Doesn't matter. I'm a minority, all right?
Are you black?
Minority. Do I look black?
Listen, man, I'm not here to. I don't see color. Jimmy in the black
Exactly.
community. Black women have 2x more kids than black males. Promiscuity is high. The universe traditional standard purity till marriage is logical based on society. You argue against this.
What? When did I argue against this? Wait, what? He's saying that black women what? They have purity until when?
No, they
Yeah.
have 2 times more kids. So he's saying they're like more promiscuous. So he's saying, why are you arguing against people being pure? Because we should all be pure.
Bro,
And
that
black
makes-
women are the devil.
Bro, right? That makes no fucking sense, bro. Hey, what's your highest level of education, my guy? Like, I'm not trying to I'm dead
Well,
ass
he's in
here.
a
Like,
suit,
what?
so he's very
what?
serious.
No, we
What?
have 3 different people.
Yo, okay, there's
Everybody
two
comes
different- there's
Sorry,
two-
Mac.
No, okay, there's who was the original guy that called me a simp? Like,
Oh, the
who
one
was
that
guy?
called you a simp.
Yeah, who called me a simp? Brian Gonzalez. Why?
Speaking of Brian's,
Next question.
I have a question. This comes from Brian all the way in Los Angeles.
Shout out to my people.
This is not a super chat. This is someone who asked this question before the show even started.
Right.
And he said, if a guy is watching what he eats for dinner, does that turn you off? India.
If a guy is watching what he eats for dinner,
Does that turn you off? Yeah. Counting his calories, watching what he eats, like being very careful with his diet.
That
Does
went over
turn
my
you
little
off?
head.
That's all right.
No, if he has a reason for it, I think people be athletes and stuff and like have certain like physical fitness goals that they're trying to meet. Now, no, it doesn't turn me off. But if it's like you can't go out to a restaurant and like mindfully choose something to eat and be like, okay, I'm gonna log this in my thing, and like we can never like go to a meal, then that's a turn off. But like that goes back to like the lifestyle thing. But like as far as like what he is like choosing to like consume and like counting his stuff, no, we have fitness goals. I have fitness goals.
Facts.
That would be like unrealistic for me to be mad about.
All right. Ginge?
Yeah, I agree. Because I've dated guys who have been really into fitness. And so they would count every single thing that they would eat. They would map it all out. And that's fine. That's a fitness goal. Who am I to be like an ick about it? Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a turn on.
Is it an ick?
I don't think it's an ick. I think
Not
if
an
anything, it's a turn on. If a guy is taking care of his health, as long as he's not micromanaging what I eat and how much I eat, then I'm okay with it.
Gwen, turn off?
No, because I'm conscious of what I put in my body as well. So I would prefer to be with somebody who is like monitoring what goes inside of them. To India's point though, like if we can't go on a date, if it's becoming a hindrance to us enjoying time together, and like I definitely believe in balance and like the 80-20 rule. If we can't like go and have a nice dinner together, I would say like I would kind of get annoyed by it.
Okay. Scotty Rose, super chat. Thanks, man. He says, Jimmy, Gwen, and India could use some good trip advice.
The
I
fuck
think
is
he likes you,
that?
Ginger. I think he
What
likes you.
advice
fuck
would
does
you
that
give
mean,
me,
bro?
Trip?
Right.
Yeah, could you
Can you be more
enlighten
specific?
us so I can grow and develop as a person?
Bro, it's not fair.
Let me
'cause
think
I
on
want
that.
she's
men
been,
to
she's been
like
very,
I help men.
she's been
So-
very conservative.
Yeah, help me appeal to the male
way more
demographic,
well-versed in
Trip.
What do
helping
you
men.
mean, bro? Talk to me, man.
Okay, hold on. Brian super chat says, you calling me a beta means nothing to me. My life is pretty great. Just want to contribute to the chat. Also, alcohol is haram.
Did he
What?
super
Fuck, are
chat
you?
you?
Are
for
you
that?
hey,
Yeah, this
my
is
guy,
super
are you
chats.
Muslim
Thank
or
you,
what?
Brian.
Does he have
for
to
the
pay to super chat all of these?
Yes, a super chat
comments?
is when they pay to comment on the chat. So thank you
Bro.
everyone for the super chats. Appreciate it.
Kisses to Brian.
Bro, exactly, bro. Like, you know the fuck.
They don't
Hey,
know what you're
do you-
At first you was
Hey,
like, I
hey, my guy, do you know who you,
want to clarify for the people.
do you know who you're talking to? What's his name? Brian?
Brian, yeah.
Brian, bro. Hey, the two-time,
Wait, Brian
bro.
Gonzalez.
Bro, we have the
What?
same fucking like Hispanic ass last name. Easy Lopez. Easy. How the fuck am I a beta, bro? I'm trying to defend your ass, bro.
Oh
Hey,
my
get laid more. Hey, hit the gym for once, all right?
Hit your gym
Hit,
specifically.
whoa, I go to a few gyms, but yeah, hit me up, bro. I'll put you on. Don't worry.
That's so nice of you doing community service.
I'm
like
I'm
that.
doing. Hey, at this point, I'm doing charity work. I'm saying
Wow.
charity. I'm a man of the people. You know what I'm saying, vote for me. 2024 is coming up.
Well, Mac, Brian,
Yeah.
Scotty, I appreciate the super chats tonight, and thanks for joining in on a really fun conversation. We're at just a little over the 2-hour mark, so I want to go into final thoughts, and we'll start with India to my left because that's where we started before. India, anything you want to share with anyone? Anything you want to say on the topic said tonight? Any final thoughts on what we've discussed?
Oh wow. I think my final thoughts are it's been a fun time with you. I feel like you asked little pressing questions, which are nice. I feel like you don't you ask like unbiased questions and you push. So I think you ask good questions. You're probably a good coach to these men's.
Well, thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
Clearly you have
I don't know
results.
if your friend agrees.
I mean,
We'll
you're
find
getting
out.
results. They getting what they want. But yeah, I don't really I think like my like closing thought is like women are people, women are humans, and it's like we have thoughts and feelings, but it's like we're all different. We're not all just like you and your friends are all different. We're all different. So you can't like generalize and be like, this, and this equals what a woman wants. You have to get to know the girl, and some girls won't be for you because they won't have the same values, and like that's okay. And just move on to the next girl that has your same values, but don't demonize the girl that doesn't have your values, because she's not wrong for having her standards. There's going to be a guy for her and there's a woman for you. So leave it at that and be nice and, love and light. God bless.
Where can people follow you on Instagram?
The India Jade. India spelled like the country, jade like the precious jewel.
And guys, she responds to DMs. Doesn't matter what you say. Am I right?
But okay, but
don't leave me hanging.
But if I say something like a little heart, if I don't engage the conversation, just know I'm
Don't
being
leave me
polite.
hanging, India. You respond to DMs.
Oh,
Bam.
sure.
All
Yeah.
right. Final thoughts from Ginger.
This has been interesting. It's been a fun podcast. We've had a lot of funny comments. I'm scared to read the rest of the comments, to be honest.
Yeah.
But final thoughts, I would say for the guys out there, just know that women think about sex too. Maybe if they don't think about it the same way or as much as you, that's fine. She's probably just not your person. But to India's point, there will be someone else out there for you. And yeah, I don't know. It's been a really interesting podcast.
Okay. Gwen.
Hi,
Gwendolyn.
boys. Sorry you hate me.
I don't know if
I
they hate
hate-
you as much as you think they do.
I hate
Well, what I've heard is
Maybe you're projecting.
this isn't a Trip girl. This isn't the kind of girl that comes on Trip's podcast. No, I think it has been an interesting night. I've been exposed to people with ideas that are different than my own, and I've been challenged by questions that are different than what are inside of my sphere of influence. And I forget that there are people who don't think like me in the world. So I'm glad that we were able to share a few hours together. Thank you all for listening to my perspective on things. I hope that it broadens your mindset. Yeah, I really just appreciate the opportunity to come on here and speak as a woman with maybe a different perspective than what you're used to hearing.
Jimmy.
Got this, Jimmy. Come on, man.
Jimmy,
You already-
final thoughts.
You already know I got this.
Alpha,
You already know I got this,
I'm
all
gonna
right?
zoom in on
black man, Muslim man.
Bring him in. Hey,
Get into the mic.
I am just the embodiment of everybody, to be honest. Just worldwide phenomenon. I understand it. All right, first of all, what's going on, my friends? So I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here and just the love, the respect. I genuinely feel that respect. And I want to say a couple of things before I head out. India, like I'm terrible with names, first of all, but your name stuck out to me. And I feel like, an older man, like, no disrespect. And I know you said don't disrespect. Fuck that word.
You can
No, it's fine.
forget
I'll be
apologize.
okay.
Say
But
whatever
no
you want, Jimmy.
disrespect, but like
I'll be okay.
an older man is suited for you, to be honest. Older man with money, bam, you got it, girl. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. Get that older man with money who'll take care of you. You know what I'm saying? That's your vibe. What's your name again?
Ginger.
Ginger, you're very conservative, and I'm not passing judgment on anybody, but like you seem like you're very conservative, like you're very like to yourself, even if you're
I
not
wouldn't say conservative.
Even
I
if
would
you're
say reserved.
there.
at
But
times.
there you go. But even if you're not, that's what I said. Even if you're not, like that's the vibe I get from you. And you continue doing you. All right, you're awesome.
I will.
You
Thank
play a
you.
part. Love and respect. Your name again?
Gwen.
Gwen.
Where have you been, Jimmy?
You know what? I've been to Mars, to say the least. All right, but yeah, like no, thank you guys. But Gwen, as you like, you've you add a lot to this conversation. I feel like you have a strong like opinion on what you want, especially like women like being like feminists. Like, dude, that's deep as fuck. Just be honest about it, open about it. But yeah, I appreciate you for that. And for me, it's like for all my viewers, everyone that's loved me, just know that like I keep it 100. At the end of the day, I'm gonna continue doing me, and there's no just that's the end about it. Like, I'm just gonna be me, and I'm gonna be open and transparent. And I feel like this is just a great opportunity. Trip, like, you're just an awesome guy. I appreciate you, and just focus on yourselves at the end of the day. If you can focus on yourself, you can make everything else happen. Every opportunity will open up. If you focus on yourself, better yourself, things will come your way. So appreciate the opportunity at the end of the day. So
Cool, man.
Love you guys.
We said your Instagram. I forgot to go around. Ginger, your Instagram.
Mine is ginger.phelps.
Ginger.phelps.
Yes.
Gwendolyn Robbins, Robbins.
Cool. We'll put all that in the description. Jimmy?
So it's JIMNY_the_coach, for personal coaching. That's it.
Sweet. A few more super chats to read. Scotty says, you three are players and us Trip guys are not into that. Brian says, Trip, thank you for reading my chats. I look forward to your channel growing. Maybe one day I can be a guest. I am, however, very straightforward. We'd love to have you, Brian. Be great to have you on here. And he says again, Brian says to you, Jimmy, I'm rooting for you. Take that red pill. That's what Brian says.
Whatever the fuck that is.
I had a great time. I want to thank everyone who left a super chat. It's been really fun being able to read those and have that discussion with you here and interact with you. So it's been very fun. So thanks again, everyone, for doing that. Jimmy, Gwen, Ginger, India, who was a last minute replacement, wasn't supposed to be in the show, came on, and it was great. It was great to have you. You all had a lot of very interesting points and things to say, and I appreciate all of it. So thanks again for being here. And that's a show. Cool. Awesome. Guys, I'm having fun.
Awesome.
These are great. Next one is going to be Monday, 8 p.m. Central. So next Monday, we're doing it every Monday. But wait, next Monday is July 3rd. So I will not be here because of the 4th of July. So we will continue July 10th. Monday, July 10th, we'll be here and we'll have new guests, new topics, and we'll rock out. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later. If you need help, tripadvicecoaching.com for all of your dating coaching needs. To meet and attract more women, go and pick a time on the calendar and we'll speak to you about how we can help you. Take care.